Chapter 1, Start a Mountain of Garbage. What does it feel to be hungry? For Nitai, who lives with no worries about food and clothing, from childhood to most of the lives under the high dividends brought by his parents, hunger is a completely unfamiliar word. But now, he knows what it feels like to be hungry. His shriveled belly kept protesting, his limbs were sore and dizzy. The indescribable pain, one after another, is like waves rising from the sea. The intense pain also brought an extremely real cognition. Ding! The fusion of the junk-picking system succeeded. With a strong sense of hunger, a burst of electronic mixed sounds sounded in the ears of Nitai. Trash-picking system. After a while, Yetong knew that he had crossed. And it's the so-called soulware in a sense. As an ordinary high school student, Nitai is just playing with a mobile phone on the bed. When I wake up, I am in this ghost place. OM. At this moment, a wave of inexplicable fluctuations came, making the originally weak Nitai also a little more energetic. At the same time, there was more information in my mind. Goa Kingdom, not sure about the terminal. A huge amount of information instantly flooded into Nitai's mind. The predecessor of this life, called Grot Nitai. My parents fell ill and died several years ago, and I became an orphan. In Jajan, a few-year-old orphan cannot survive. Later, the predecessor was also thrown here by people from the Goa Kingdom because of illness. Where all the is located, the uncertain end. Yetong looked at the countless trash around, all the hunger was wiped out. Although I don't know what this system does, but picking up rubbish, isn't there just countless here? Ding! I found the broken food bag and got a piece of bread. Picking up a garbage bag casually, the familiar electronic mixed sound in his ear sounded again. At the same time, a piece of hot bread appeared in his hand. Is this my golden finger? WHHHHHHH. Without waiting for Yetong to continue thinking, the body began to eat on its own. After a piece of bread entered the abdomen, the satisfaction of getting food instantly filled Yetong's whole body. It's not a matter of words that people take food as their heaven. What about this one? OZW.com. As Yetong said, he also picked up a bottle on the ground. Ding! See the broken wine bottle and get a bundle of rum. As the system's prompt sounded, Yetong looked at the trash mountain in front of her, her eyes shining. Although there are no resources here, there is a lot of garbage. Grumbling. One Piece World, I am coming. After sipping the wine, Yetong yelled out such a word with pride. Okay, let's get to work. Although it is here, we still have to pick up the trash. Ding! I found the broken newspaper and got 1,000 Baileys. Ding! I found a rag and got a costume. Ding! Congratulations to the host, successfully picked up 10 tattered pieces and won the title of Super Rookie picking tattered pieces. After hearing the system's prompt tone, he put down the large and small bags he had obtained, and then changed his clothes. At the same time, there are some complaints. This system is a bit unfriendly. This title is too. System, what's the use of this title? Nitai asked tryingly. Doesn't it mean that the host can communicate with the system? Yetong now has no worries about food and clothing, and wants to try it. Ding! Show the panel. As an electronic hybrid sounded, a black panel appeared in front of Nitai. Host, Nitai. Age, 12. Pickup value, 10. Strength, 10. Speed, 10. Defense, 10. Agility, 10. Spirit, 100. Normal human basic attributes 50. Title, Super Rookie picking up rags. Add 20 attributes after wearing, get 10 cubic meters of portable space, can be worn. Chapter 2, Pick up to make ends meet. After seeing his message on the black panel, Nitai was both surprised and helpless. Surprisingly, this name is a frustrating title, so powerful. Unfortunately, his basic attributes are too bad. Even with the blessing of the title, it is not even an ordinary person. It's fine, after all, I'm only 12 years old now. Thinking of this, Yetong was relieved a lot. In the world of One Piece, normal children at this stage have only this kind of strength, right? System, choose to wear the title. Thinking of this, Yetong chose to wear the title without hesitation. This thing comes with a portable space, although only 10 cubic meters, but it is also very useful. As a burst of brilliance flashed, Yetong found that her body became stronger. I moved my hands and feet a bit, and it was indeed a lot stronger than before. Just kidding, the 20 points attribute is directly added, which is equivalent to 3 times the original Nitai attribute. Such changes are still very obvious. The most important thing is that Nitai can feel that there is a space around him. System, how do you use this portable space? Even though Nitai could perceive it, he didn't know how to use it. Idea. The system still cherishes words like gold. But mindful Nitai still knows, just follow your own thoughts. Go in. Nitai tried it, and the big and small items around him disappeared instantly. Check. As soon as you move your mind, you can see what's in your personal space. And it's like game data, with their respective names on it. I wipe it, don't use it too much. Yetong raised his hand, and a piece of barbecue appeared in his hand. OZW.com. By the way, what does this pickup value do? Yetong asked again. This should be the 10-point pickup value obtained after I picked it 10 times. Until then, this stuff will definitely not just be counted here. The pickup value can be used to strengthen attributes, strengthen skills, and upgrade props. Other functions are not available for viewing permissions. For the pickup value, the system also gave a more detailed introduction. But Yetong checked it briefly, as if he couldn't strengthen anything temporarily. 10 points to pickup value can strengthen a little basic attribute. Others, let alone. Like your own portable space, it has a pickup value of 100,000 at every turn. He 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 he, he 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 he. Trash of One Piece world, here I am. Nitai had changed his mind at this time. Before Yetong found out that he had come to the world of One Piece, the first reaction was to go out to sea, be a great pirate, and then look for the big secret treasure. But now Yetong is not interested in these at all. One Piece, whoever loves to be who is to go, I'm going to pick up trash. What wealth, beauty, power, power. Picking up is the kingly way. After all, now I can only make a living by picking up trash. Thinking of this, Yetong also started his own way of picking up garbage again. Ding, I picked up the broken samurai sword and got a good sword xi ling. Ding, I found the broken wooden board and got a cabin. Ding, I found news about the broken Kaido and got an introduction to armed sex. Nitai, who was picking up garbage quickly, stopped. Armed color. Chapter 3, The Disappearing Uncertainty Terminal. After acquiring the armed color, Yetong slowly raised his hand. Come on, armed color! Yetong shouted. But the familiar black did not appear in his hand. There was even no change at all. Doesn't it mean that after the armed color is turned on, there will be armed color entangled in the body? Even when Luffy turns on the second gear, can't it turn red? Why hasn't anything changed when I get to myself? I am definitely not focused enough. Yab. Yetong began to concentrate, then exerted force. What? After Yetong held back for a few minutes, there was still no response. This junior, too junior. Forget it, look at Liang Kuei-deo. As Yetong said, a long knife appeared in his hand. The length of the blade is 1.2 m, the handle is 38 cm, the handguard is square, and the blade is typo. Call. He waved the Liang Kuei knife xi ling in his hand casually, which weighed almost 10 kilograms. If it weren't for a certain increase in my strength now, it would be a bit laborious to swing. At this time, Yetong also felt his own armed color, and there was a faint energy entangled in his hand. Laugh. Yetong tried it, and went down with a knife, and immediately cut the stool on one side. Sure enough, it is a good knife. This cutting force is not so strong. Good knives are like this, so what about big knives? And, where is the king of knives, the supreme big knives? Thinking of this, Yetong directly threw the Liangkui knife in his hand to the ground. Then pick it up quickly. Sure enough, the trash I made by myself is not counted. Although Yetong was a little disappointed, it was understandable. If you can swipe infinitely, then you will be invincible, okay? OZW.com. After a brief rest, Nightai was also ready to rest. After all, I have been in this world for so long, and I haven't had a good rest yet. The next day. Start work. Yetong got up in the morning and continued to clean up the trash. Love the environment, everyone is responsible. Ding, I picked up a newspaper and got Bailey 1000. Ding, I found a rotten sock and got a box of canned herring. Ding, I picked up a handle of the rusty knife and got the basic swordsmanship. After picking up the sword, Yetong also pulled out his Xi Ling and waved it again. After acquiring swordsmanship, Yetong waved Xi Ling in his hand, which also brought gusts of wind. Although it has not reached the level of inspiring sword energy. However, it already has a certain attack power. I don't need to say that I hacked there with a good knife. In this way, Yetong started his boring life of picking up trash while exercising. Half-year later. The entire uncertainty terminal disappeared. The only thing left is a small wooden house. It's time to leave here. Looking at the empty uncertain terminal in front of him, Yetong is full of accomplishments. With the improvement of his basic attributes, the night pupil has grown a little bit taller. At the age of 12, he is already 1.7 meters old. Perhaps it has something to do with the world of One Piece. Many people in this world are giants. At the age of 12, he was only 1.7 meters old. Let's go to the windmill village and see. In case you encounter red hair, picking up the trash he throws seems to be a good choice. Thinking of this, Yetong was also ready to abandon this place where he had stayed for half a year. Chapter 4, Take 3 Little Ones. Hey, where's the garbage here? Just when Yetong was about to leave, a tender voice rang in Yetong's ear. This is Luffy, Ace, Sabo. Seeing the 3 little ones in front of him, the information of these 3 also appeared in Nightai's memory. The reason why Yetong has been here before is to wait and see if he can wait for these 3 little guys to come. Because Yetong doesn't know the way. Although Nightai has an impression of some of the existence here. But he doesn't have a detailed map. Hey, are you dumb? My base hand, how did it disappear? Luffy asked again. Ace, how old are you? Yetong also asked directly. 9 years old, what's wrong? Ace said with a sullen expression. 9 years old. After hearing Ace's words, that is to say, Sabo is going to sea in 1 year. Luffy, idiot, has not eaten the devil fruit yet. However, there is still less than a year to eat. Be my little brother. I am 12 years old this year. When Yetong thought of this, the corner of his mouth also raised a smile, and said slowly. Want to be our big brother? Then it depends on your strength. Ace was a short-tempered man, directly waving the steel pipe in his hand and attacking him. Boom boom. The next moment, the 3 of them squatted on the ground holding their heads, looking stubbornly at Yetong. Just kidding, this half-year exercise is not for nothing. In addition to the attribute bonuses obtained by picking up trash, there is also a domineering practice of armed sex. Yes, the 3 little dolls were caught by hand. OZW.com. After I became your boss, all the treasures I obtained will be given to you. And I will prepare the ships you are going to see in the future. Well, do you want to think about it? Nitai is like a strange crocodile holding a lollipop to coax a child. Looks treacherous. I always feel that you are not so kind. Boom. Before Sabo finished speaking, Nitai punched him again. You can't beat me, and I don't want your treasures. If you don't recognize me as the eldest brother, I will tell Dodin about the treasures on that tree. Yetong directly resorted to his assassin. You should know that the three people at this time are more important to this treasure than their own lives. Big brother. The three of them instantly called out their eldest brother. So simple. Go to the windmill village, brother invites you to have a big meal first. Yetong also said generously. According to the original storyline, the red hair should be here soon. And if you are by the side of the three little ones, you will meet another legendary character, that is, Carp. These two people, whoever throws rubbish, are all top quality. As for going to sea or something, Yetong has no such idea now. Whoever loves to be One Piece, Tianlongren, or something, has nothing to do with him. Isn't he fragrant when he picks up garbage? When I heard that Yetong was going to treat someone to eat, Luffy's three people also showed smiles. Leaving here with Yetong directly. Soon, they came to Windmill Village and entered the banquet bar. Miss Mackina's bar. Seeing a green-haired Maginot, Nitai also knew where it was. Chapter 5, Reject Shanks. You can order whatever you want. I'll pay. Yetong said calmly. Great. Mackinac, I want 10 glasses of orange juice and a lot of meat. I want to eat meat too. I want to drink beer. Three little ones are also something exciting. You know, they are preparing money in order to go to sea. So don't talk about consumption in Windmill Village, usually everything is solved in Caladodin. This is why, Yetong said that they would be so excited for a treat. Ha 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 ha, Mackinac, are you so lively here today? At this moment, a rough voice came into Nitai's ears. Then, a large crowd of people came in. Shanks. Hearing this voice, Luffy was the most excited. He admires red hair. Hey, there are 3 other little ghosts here. Boy, you are very face to face, what is your name? The red hair walked to Yetong's side and said directly. My name is Nitai. Yetong wiped the saliva from his mouth, and said excitedly. He was excited, not because he saw the red hair of one of the 4 emperors. But he knew that everyone in this pirate group was a master. The things they throw away at will are all top quality garbage. Nitai, and nice boy. Who is your master? The red hair also asked directly. Under the powerful sight and dominance, Nitai's body information directly appeared in Shanks' perception. At the age of 12, he has a good sword in his hand, and his arms have special marks left by sword practice. The physical strength is not weak. How could such an existence mix with Luffy and the others? OZW.com. Don't look at Shanks' usual carelessness, he is the most hidden person among the 4 emperors. There is no master. Yetong said indifferently. Only what Shanks was thinking, he didn't have the mind to care. Now he just wants to know, when will they have a banquet? Picking up garbage is the kingly way to make a fortune. Ah ha 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 ha. Boy, you are very interesting, do you want to come on my boat? Shanks sent out an invitation to Yetong for the first time. You know, he didn't want Luffy to join the pirates. Why would you invite yourself? Yetong somewhat put away the thought of picking up garbage, and looked at Shanks in front of him. This guy is definitely not the Shanks he learned about in anime. No, I have no interest in being someone else's brother. I'm the eldest brother of the 3 of them. Yetong resolutely refused, and then pulled out the 3 little ones as a shield. Oh! Looking at the 3 people who were eating meat, Shanks did not continue to stare at Nitai. Instead, I went to find Markino and ordered something to eat. Then we are ready to have a banquet here. At the same time, Shanks took out a box and put it on the counter. Is this devil fruit? After seeing the box, the first thing Yetong thought of was the rubber fruit. It seems that Luffy will eat the rubber fruit soon. In other words, Ace is almost 10 years old. Then the things that I expected will happen soon. However, I can't die anyway, so I still care about the garbage. Miss Mackinaw, you must be very busy by yourself. Usually, thank you for taking care of Luffy, let me clean you up. After Nightai finished speaking, regardless of whether Mackinaw agreed with him, he just picked up the broom and started. Chapter 6, Keep Trash Slaves. Seeing Yetong's strange behavior, Mackinaw was also shocked. As for the three little ones, they were immersed in food, and they didn't have time to take care of Nightai. Shanks remained the same, drinking with a big smile while still smiling. Soon, the banquet also slowly entered a climax. Brother, the trash can here is full. Coming. Little brother, clean up the table here. Coming. Nightai is simply a hard-working bee, constantly sorting out the garbage here. Of course, Nightai didn't touch the directly. In case of a pig or something, he can't explain it. Therefore, Yetong also packed it in a plastic bag, and then threw all the trash into his personal space when he went out to throw the trash. Originally, Sang Xiao would go back after eating, but Luffy still wanted to stay. In addition, it was Luffy's birthday, and Shanks invited them to stay and continue the banquet. Seeing so many food and drinks, the three little ones also joined the party carnival. 2 days later, Nightai's portable space was full, and a lot of garbage was thrown outside. Boom! Are you a dummy? Just when Yetong was guarding her trash outside from being stolen, there was a noise in the room. Yetong knew that Lu Fei had eaten the devil fruit. Brother, don't you come in and eat some? Why are you guarding the trash here? Rakulo gnawed on the divine weapon chicken leg in his hand, and said with some confusion. No, you guys eat. There is too much garbage, call me. Yetong said awkwardly. He can't go. You know, there are people in Fengch village who clean up garbage at a fixed time. OZW.com. These are my own treasures, how can I let others take them away? Now he is like a miser, guarding this pile of garbage. 2 days later, Shanks also left here. The garbage outside the door is as high as a hill. Those who have to admire the world of One Piece, the appetite is really scary. At the same time, Nightai also found a problem. There seems to be a special factor in these meaty foods. After eating, it can not only restore physical strength. Moreover, there are improvements to the basic attributes. Miss Mackinaw, help me look at the three little guys, and I'll throw away the trash. After Yetong finished speaking, he quickly disappeared into the banquet bar. For this strange young man, Maginot did not feel sick. Entered the house with a smile. Nightai, carrying a lot of garbage, came to a small forest. Start? Wow! Yetong directly dumped a lot of garbage out. Ding! Pick up the bones discarded by Rakulo and gain digestion plus 10. After Yetong picked up a bone, the system prompt sounded. Digestion plus 10? Is this also ability? Nightai also subconsciously clicked on his panel. Skills, Digest LV1, which can better absorb energy from food. After seeing this information, Yetong was a little confused. Before feeling yourself, you can't even digest it. But this is a good skill, no wonder this fellow Ragulo is chewing on each with a chicken leg. Ding! I picked up the tissue that Ben Beckman discarded and got an introduction to gun skills. Ding! After checking the digestion, Yetong continued to pick up trash. Chapter 7, Gorgeous Panel, Long Kapu is here. Ding! I picked up the stone discarded by Shanks and got Bailey 100,000. Ding! I picked up the paper discarded by Shanks and got the Overlord Color Junior unusable dot. Ding! Ding! Pick up Rakulo and discard the bones, gain digestion plus 10. After 3 hours, Yetong finally picked up all the discarded by the red-haired pirates. System, panel. With a thought, Yetong called out his own panel. Host, Nitai. Age, 12. Pickup value, 87,000. Strength, 80. Speed, 102. Defense, 98. Agility, 156. Spirit, 238. Normal human basic attributes 50. Ability, Armed Color Domineering Intermediate, Spear LV3, Sword LV4, Digest 320. Props, Overlord Color Elementary 2 cannot be used, Good Fast Knife Exiling, a box of canned herring, King's Underwear and. Wealth, 10.38 million Baileys. Title, Picking Up a Tattered Rookie Worn, Technical Attribute plus 50, Charm Value plus 10. Primary Portable Space, 10 cubic meters. After more than half a year, the panel of Nitai finally became more gorgeous. The spear technique was just obtained, so the effect is not yet known. Swordsmanship LV4, almost reached the standard of a swordsman. The swordsman level in One Piece world is useless, so few people will pay attention. Only when you have reached the level of a swordsman can you gain such a reputation. According to the current level, it is estimated that after reaching level 10 or higher, he can reach the level of a swordsman. Now his strength should be similar to that of a lieutenant. There is still a long way to go. OZW.com. When Yetong returned to the banquet bar, the three little ones had disappeared. Yetong, you are back. When you just went out, Luffy's grandfather took the three of them away. Should be back to Gorber Mountain. Mackinaw also said helplessly. Although Yetong promised to be optimistic about these three little guys, the grandfather came, can't he stop him? Carp. Hey, Carp is here. As soon as he heard Carp's name, Yetong ran out with a squeak. Really young, this vitality. Boom. Without waiting for Maginot to play with emotion, Yetong appeared in front of Maginot with a down face. What happened? Marquino looked at Nitai with some doubts. I do not know the way. After rushing out, Yetong remembered that she didn't know the way at all. When I watched anime before, I always complained about it. But after I was in this unfamiliar environment, did I realize that Liu Qi is not normal? I'll take you there. At this moment, a deep voice came into Nitai's ears. Monkey D. Dragon. Hearing this voice, Yetong also knew the identity of the visitor for the first time. Seeing the face with the traces of shoehorns, Yetong became more sure of the other party's identity. I recognized my son as a little brother, knowing that my father is comfortable in the red-haired pirates, hiding in the trash and rummaging through the trash by yourself. You smile very happily. I am very interested. After hearing Long's evaluation of himself, Yetong was also a little embarrassed. Sure enough, you still have to learn to see and hear colors quickly, otherwise someone is watching and you don't know it. Moreover, there is another problem that I have acquired the Overlord color, but cannot use it. This is also a big problem. Chapter 8, Have you ever felt hunger? Long, I want to chat with you alone. After being embarrassed, Yetong also remembered one thing, so he said directly. Okay, let's go. Long appeared next to Yetong in an instant, then grabbed him and disappeared here. After a hurricane, the two appeared on a top of Mount Galber. Strange boy Nitai, what do you want to tell me? Long looked at Yetong with interest. But at this time, Yetong had no intention of talking to him. Although the physique is higher than that of ordinary people, it is not much higher. Just now the dragon used his abilities to bring himself here. It was countless times more intense than doing a roller coaster, and for a while, Yetong began to overwhelm in her stomach. After more than 10 minutes, Yetong's face also recovered a trace of blood. Long, next time you bring someone out, can you think about the feelings of others? Nitai's first sentence directly complained. Because I still have some twitching stomachs, I am embarrassed. Boy, depending on your health, how come you have such a bad endurance? Is it a green egg who hasn't been out of the sea yet? Long teased. Okay, let's talk about business. Dragon, are you already forming a revolutionary army? Yetong also said directly. After hearing what Yetong said, Long's face was not surprised. If this kid can know himself and carp, it is not impossible to know that he has left the navy. You want to join? Long did not answer, but asked back. Join? Join your third-rate revolutionary army? Don't laugh to death. Yetong immediately said with a disdainful face. In his eyes, the revolutionary army is really invulnerable. OZW.com third rate. Ha 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 ha, you don't know what we are going to do, so you say we are third rate. Boy, this world is not as food and clothing as you think. Long raised his head, looked at the sky at a 45-degree angle, and said with some pretense. The food and clothing I imagined. Ha ha. In her previous life, Yetong might really feel that this world is very beautiful. But after inheriting the memory of this body, he doesn't feel that this world is all beautiful. Not to mention, he knew the setting of One Piece world better than Dragon. Dragon, have you ever felt hunger? After he said, Yetong asked again. Hunger? What's the matter? I trained. I'm asking you, have you ever felt hunger personally? Before Long started to talk, Nitai asked again. After hearing what Yetong said, Long was stunned. Immediately, shook his head. That kind of whole world is malicious to you. The kind of warm sunshine. It's all burning. That kind of breeze is all torture. Such hunger, as a lieutenant admiral, the son of the naval hero Carp, can you feel it? Yetong recalled that when she first came into this world half a year ago, that kind of hunger was true hunger. And in this world, I don't know how many people are suffering from such hunger. But now, an official and a second-generation dragon, actually wants to use his temporary thinking to form a revolutionary army? In Yetong's eyes, no matter how far his power developed in the future, it was nothing more than a third rate. Appreciate further details. At this time, the dragon didn't care about pretending to be forced. Because he has a feeling that what this person wants to say next will help him a lot. Chapter 9, You Have Too Many Questions. Originally, Yetong had prepared a lot of rhetoric. But after seeing Long sitting down, Yetong was also speechless for a while. Although I know a lot about this aspect, when I was studying, I did not learn less about history, politics, and governance. Compared with the above cases and theories, the dragon in front of me is really like a baby waiting to be fed. But because of too much information, Yetong didn't know where to start for a while. Is there something hard to say? Or do you think I will be too weak to withstand a little blow? Long saw the tangled Nitai, and said directly. It's not difficult to speak. Instead, I feel that you have too many questions. I don't know where you started. Yetong said helplessly. Seeing Yetong's serious look, Long was also a little embarrassed. After all, I still made a lot of preparations, but here in Nitai, it is directly useless. Although I don't know where this kid knows his own affairs, how much he knows is also a question. Therefore, Long did not refute. Still sitting there quietly. Long, tell me, what are you going to do? Wouldn't you just do something like that on your own? By the way, the water bottle in your hand is finished, throw it away. Yetong thought for a while, let Long speak first. Moreover, at this time, Yetong discovered that Long had a plastic bottle without water in his hand. This one. The dragon was a little strange, and subconsciously threw the bottle in his hand on the ground. Okay, you can say it. Yetong quickly picked up the bottle with lightning speed. Ding, congratulations to the host, I picked up the bottle discarded by the dragon and got the Overlord Color Junior 1. The next moment, the system prompt sound followed. After hearing the system's prompt tone, Nitai was also a little helpless. OZW.com. Although the Overlord color is very good, I can't use it temporarily. After seeing the bottle in Yetong's hand disappeared, the dragon was not surprised. In his eyes, this is just a strange devil fruit ability. As you can see, I am now recruiting partners. Long then said indifferently. Recruiting partners. Then expand the power and build a strong combat power. Yetong also said directly. Correct. Long also nodded honestly. I ask you, what do you do after you have enough strength? Initiate a revolution and launch together the weak and small countries that you have brainwashed by Tunghua. Use the lives of these innocent and weak people to accumulate your success. Arousing resistance from other countries, or inciting some dark existence. Your revolutionary army can fish in troubled waters, and if you are lucky, you can capture Marie Joa. Is that so? Yetong said calmly. I haven't thought of so much yet, but maybe it is possible to follow such a plot to follow the next thing. Long was a little horrified, but still reluctantly said flatly. Sure enough, it's another shameless doctrine. Dragon, do you think this is the best choice? 10,000 steps back, you are victorious, and you want to clean up the pirates. Or, continue to live like a Tian Long Ren. After Yetong took a deep breath, he said slowly. Chapter 10, Long Bashan 2. This. In fact, Long didn't really think about it. After all, such things are not considered at this stage. No matter how good the future plan is, if there is no matching achievement before, such consideration is useless at all. I haven't thought about it. Do you want to wait until you become the top person before thinking about it? Yetong wanted to laugh a little. Yes. Long nodded again. The little guy in front of him, who was not in his grade, actually gave Long the illusion of being a teacher. And he is an inquisitive student. I don't know how many times more difficult it is to establish comparable destruction. Do you know what those people who you feel are unfortunate are thinking? Like me, before, I thought that the happiest thing in this world was to be happy if you were full and warm. And in this world, there are many people who are easily satisfied like this. Those who are already fed and clothed, although they are being exploited, are they really as unfortunate as you think? Your approach, regardless of success or failure, is unfortunate to them. Yetong said again. After that, all kinds of people were born equal, so that the elderly have a sense of support and support. These principles, Yetong himself did not think clearly. However, at this time, there shouldn't be a mistake to say these things. After all, I'm just an ordinary person who wants to pick up the trash. Thinking of this, Yetong suddenly stood up. He knows, why can't he use the domineering look? Because I don't have the kind of domineering to become a king. In other words, he has no ambitions. But how am I going to be ambitious? To find the big secret treasure? Or build a revolutionary army like the dragon? Or, like Brother Ming, want to dominate the dark world? OZW.com. By the way, isn't there a fool here? At this time, Yetong also hit the dragon with his idea. Ambitious, you don't have to do it yourself. Those troublesome things, let this guy with plenty of time. I am going to clean up the entire One Piece world. I am the man who wants to clean up the king. Dragon. You. Nitai, will you be our leader? Just as Yetong was thinking about how to cheat the dragon, Long suddenly said such a sentence. What? Yetong was stunned. Even if it was him, it was a bit astonished to be worshipped by the first person of the revolutionary army. Although you are weak now, your thoughts are the things you just said. I think it's exactly what the world needs. It doesn't matter if the strength is not enough, we have. Long said sincerely. Ha ha ha, good. You should prepare enough power first, and then come to me after you have a certain strength. Yetong also said directly. Subordinates understand. Long immediately knelt on one knee and placed his right hand on his chest, expressing his sincerity. Yetong was a little puzzled. How could such a dragon suddenly make such a choice? Some men with a king's temperament are actually willing to become people? I couldn't figure out Yetong and didn't think about it anymore. He could only attribute these to the thoughts of the great gods in various history. In fact, Yetong didn't think wrong, it was these thoughts that convinced Long. Ding! Congratulations to the host, the overlord color can be used. At this moment, the system reminder sounded in Nitai's ear. Chapter 11, Throw some rubbish. As the system's prompt sound remembered, Nitai was also stunned. I don't know if it is because of my desire to become the clean king that affected this, or because I took the dragon to be a younger brother. Anyway, it can be used, it can't be wrong. Dragon, you throw away some more rubbish. Yetong said, approaching the dragon again, and said with a smile. There is nothing left on my body. I don't, isn't it easy to throw a trash? Think quickly, if it doesn't work, I will give you money, you go to buy something, and then you lose something. Yetong said again without waiting for the dragon to finish. After finally catching a big person who can intimidate him to throw trash, Yetong doesn't want to let this opportunity go. Moreover, the trash that this guy throws away will directly increase its pickup point by 100 points after it is picked up. How could such a good opportunity let him go? Let me see, I have a few reward orders, a newspaper, and a short knife. As Long said, he also directly threw some of the things he was carrying on the ground. Ding! Congratulations to the host, I picked up the Doflamingo reward that the dragon discarded and got the overlord color too. Ding! Congratulations to the host, I picked up the Ivankov reward order discarded by the dragon, and obtained the hormone pill, the overlord color 1. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Ding! Congratulations to the host, I picked up the short knife discarded by the dragon and got a big knife to rain. Soon, Nitai picked up everything on the ground. Sure enough, it was a dragon, and the discarded newspapers directly got 1 million Baileys. Then, it was all power, overlord's color, and so on. Dragon, you. Boss, take your time to rest, I will prepare first. At this time, the dragon turned into a hurricane and disappeared. Hey, isn't it just for you to throw rubbish? OZW.com. Even the Tian Longren are not afraid. What's so scary about throwing a trash? Yetong also said helplessly. However, at this time the dragon had disappeared. In desperation, Nitai had to find Kaladodan first. I'll wipe it, dragon, you got me down first. Just when he was about to leave here, Nitai also discovered that his current location was on the top of Mount Gorber. I can't fly, how can I get on? Obviously, after Long couldn't hear Yetong's words, he was already far away at this time. Boss, there are people up there. At this moment, a voice came into Nitai's ears. Is this Sig's person? Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that. I didn't see the One Piece, but I saw the One Piece first. But it's not bad, at least it's a guy who has played Shanks, and he's still a small king. After seeing the people here, Yetong's face also showed a strange smile. Use a flying ladder, go up and bring that guy down for me. If you dare to come to my turf, then you have to be ready to go away. Seeing looked at the falling rain in Yetong's hands, his eyes showed greed. No, the boss. Many younger brothers also began to throw iron hooks one by one, and then built a ladder. Thanks a lot. After Nitai saw that the ladder was built, he also came down directly from the mountain. Boy, I'm the thief King Sig here. You. Sig, do you have trash with you? Before Sig was finished, Nitai said directly. Chapter 12, Poor Sig. What? Boy, are you kidding me? Sig's brows jumped and he said angrily. No, I just want to ask if you have any to throw away. Really, why are you angry? Yetong said silently. Trash out. I will show you what is rubbish. Little ones, beat him to rubbish. Sig said directly to his little brothers. After hearing Sig's words, many bandits brandished their weapons directly and slashed at Yetong. Hey, I just want to pick up rubbish. Really, too difficult. Yetong also pulled out the rein and waved it out instantly. Although he still couldn't reach Jianhao, in front of these miscellaneous soldiers, it was enough. Ding 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 ding. With the sound of the sword breaking, the weapons in the hands of many bandits also broke one by one. The cold light flashed one after another, and the bandits here also fell one by one. A drop of water appeared on the falling rain that was originally covered with blood, and then the blade was washed clean. I wipe it, this rain has the effect of the village rain. Wow! Just when Nitai was about to say something to Sig, scenes of scarlet disappeared into her eyes. Don't talk about murder in previous lives, even chickens have never been killed. With so many corpses lying in front of him, a feeling of nausea came in an instant. You. Sig was holding the knife in his hand, trembling constantly, and only said you. Nothing else can be said. A few minutes later, Yetong had already vomited everything he had eaten the previous 2 days. After only stomach acid was left, Nitai also stopped. OZW.com. As for Sig, let alone attacking Nitai, he can't even escape. I said Sig, I just want to pick up rubbish, are you so innocent? Hurry up, lose something to make up for my broken heart. Although Yetong was very uncomfortable, the nausea and dizziness still persisted. However, picking up trash is still the most important thing. I lost. Sigur said, also throwing everything on his body to the ground. That's right. If you did this earlier, there would be no such problem. Yetong said while picking up something on the ground. I have lost it, can I go? Sig said tremblingly. I thought I found the fat sheep, but I didn't expect to send myself into the evil tiger's mouth. No yet. Yetong raised his head and said slowly. No, I threw out the big pants, what do you think about me? Do you want to throw out my mother too? Sig was aggrieved. In order to save his life, he is now naked. Then you go. By the way, put your big pants on, it's too stinky. Yetong said in disgust. What? Sigur screamed when he heard these words, and then left here quickly. Ding, pick up Sig's long knife and get basic swordsmanship too. Ding, the one who found Sig. Later, Nitai picked up everything on the ground. Hey, this guy really deserves to be someone who has missed several times, and the reward is pretty good. Yetong checked what she had obtained, and said directly. Chapter 13, Oniguma. After sorting out the things here, Yetong found an important problem. She didn't seem to know the way. Sig, you get me back. Yetong lifted up his whole body strength and shouted directly. Originally at this time, Sig, who had run out for several hundred meters, stopped instantly after hearing a shout from Yetong. Although my heart is unwilling. But remembering the appearance of Yetong just cutting people, it was cold sweat. Could it be that this guy still wants to kill me? However, even so, he dare not run away. This guy's voice can reach his own ears, which means that if he wants to catch up with him, it will be easy. The only thing I can do now is to go back, so that I can save my life. Thinking of this, Sig went back with a grievance. A few minutes later, Sig stood in front of Yetong with a downcast face. My lord, do you have anything else you need me? Sig said with some difficulty. You take me to find Kaladodan, I have something wrong. Yetong said slowly. Really, picking up garbage is addictive. When Long was here before, he was picking up by himself. Sig is the same now, and it seems that he should exercise restraint in the future. Otherwise, this will affect business. It seems that picking up trash by yourself is the business. Thinking of this, Yetong smiled helplessly. Roar! At this moment, a huge roar reached the ears of the two of them. What kind of beast's cry is this? Yetong said with some confusion. My lord, this should be the cry of a ghost bear. Let's go quickly. This thing is more than 4 meters high in an adult, and it is extremely powerful. The claws can easily smash rocks. The teeth can even bite off ordinary swords. Sieg said that he stopped here, because he saw that Yetong was actually smiling. OZW.com. My lord, you. It's okay, this thing shouldn't shed hair, right? Yetong said with a smile too. What? Damn, I don't know. Sig was aggrieved. Gaixiang, even when he was all in power, did not dare to provoke him, and he was even said to know if he was shed. Such a powerful creature should not shed hair. Let's go, let's find this guy first. As Yetong said, she also walked in the direction of the voice. My lord, don't. That thing is very dangerous. Grown-ups. Sigur yelled twice and found that Nitai ignored him at all. So, they followed suit. After all, he dare not run now. He even wondered how he would escape if Yetong was eaten by the ghost bear. Soon, a huge grizzly bear appeared in Nitai's sight. Hey, this is a ghost bear, he is only 3 meters tall, he should not be an adult yet. Yetong put away the long sword in his hand, Luyu, and walked up slowly. The adult must want a sneak attack. If it is a sneak attack, with the strength of an adult, it may really be able to kill the ghost bear. Sieg thought of it like this. Hey, bear! Do you want to be my pet? Just after Yetong walked behind Gaixiang, he shouted directly. What? At this moment, Sieg was almost squirting out his tongue. Unexpectedly, Yetong would actually speak to Big Bear directly. Chapter 14, Overlord and Number 039, S Performance. Hey! Gaixiang turned around and glanced at the back. It's you, do you want me to be your little brother? The ghost bear also said with an earned sound. The reason why he is called Gaixiang is not because he grew up. Rather, this guy can speak human words. Therefore, there are legends that this guy is the incarnation of those dead undead, so he is called a ghost bear. No 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 no. It's not me, it's my boss. Sieg was stared at by the ghost bear with a cold sweat on his face. Because the ghost bear was more than 3 meters high, he couldn't see the Nitai standing behind him at all when he turned around, but saw Sieg in the distance. Boss! As Gaixiang said, he lowered his head and saw Xiao doubting Yetong behind him. In the eyes of Gaixiang, Yetong is really a little peasant. It's you, dare to let me be your little brother. Look at me not slap you to death. As the ghost bear said, he also raised his slap and patted Yetong. Boom! With a loud noise, countless stones and soil were lifted up. And Yetong jumped up, reaching the same height as the head of a ghost bear. Hey, just try it with you. Overlord! Yetong instantly condensed his spirit, and then instantly released his domineering look. An invisible wave unfolded instantly. Although it was only a rudimentary overlord, but when released at such a close distance, the ghost bear crashed down. A feeling of dizziness spread to the whole body of the ghost bear. It's really easy to use. This kind of ability should be good for clearing out creeps. Yetong looked at the ghost bear lying on the ground and said slowly. OZW.com and Sieg in the distance was also paralyzed on the ground. In just a moment, he even saw a powerful demon-like aura in Nitai. Although it was only a moment, it was shocking enough. Get up and take me to a place. Yetong walked to Gaixiang's side and kicked him twice. Guixiang climbed up from the ground, and then lay on the ground. Yetong did what Gaixiang did. Boss, where are we going? Guixiang asked weakly. Sig, lead the way. Seeing Sieg who was silly on one side, Yetong said again. Really, it's also called the King of Thieves. Not to mention the king's temperament, he doesn't even have the temperament of a soldier. Oh oh oh! Sieg quickly ran to the front of Nitai and began to lead the way. At the same time, Xiaojuju was in his heart. If he took him to Kaladan, it is very likely that this guy will slaughter the bandits. After he leaves, this Mount Galber is his own world again. Thinking of this, Sig was also an inexhaustible force. However, for more than 2 hours, Sigur appeared outside Kaladan's door with a wound on his body. Boom! At this moment, a big fist appeared in front of Sieg, and directly knocked it out. What does Sieg want to do? Come to me naked and covered with scars. Covet my beauty, don't have to be like a hooligan. Kaladan put away his fists and said with a dissatisfaction. Ha 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 ha, covet your beauty. Karp's voice also followed. However, Karp's eyes have been looking deep into the jungle. Chapter 15, Miss Kaladan. Come out. Karp threw a senbei into his mouth and said angrily. It's a naval hero, Mr. Karp, this is really terrifying. Soon, a ghost bear appeared in front of them. And Yetong also jumped off the ghost bear. Boy, are you the eldest brother Luffy they are talking about? Boom! I have said it, here I am, don't throw everywhere. Without waiting for Karp to continue speaking, Kaladan punched him directly in the head. Then pointed to the senbei packaging on the ground and said angrily. Really, you two, one who has been eating me here and living with me is a lot of trouble. You old guy, too, you make a lot of garbage as soon as you come. I call out. At this moment, Yetong rushed to this side at a speed that was too fast to cover the ears, and then quickly picked up the senbei packaging on the ground. Ding! See the senbei packaging that Karp lost, and get armed color too. The next moment, the ear of Nitai also sounded the system prompt. Miss Kaladan, can I have the honor to clean up your garbage here? Yetong also took off his hat, placed it on the chest of the attack, and said softly. Ha 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 ha! Karp, look, how polite this guy! What kind of garbage to clean up? Come in and do it! Kaladan also said directly. The change in attitude caused Karp to jump his eyebrows. He has never received such treatment before. OZW.com. No, seeing how messy Miss Kaladan is here, she is not worthy of your identity, miss, I will start cleaning for you. As Yetong said, he also took out the trash can and broom directly from his personal space, and then began to clean it up. As for why Yetong was so excited. Just kidding, Kaladan just said that when Karp came over, he would make this place all rubbish. In other words, there is a lot of garbage that Karp discarded here. As long as a little is attached to Karp, it must be a treasure. Nitai is already looking forward to it. After he cleans up the garbage here, his armed color will definitely rise to the extent of covering the black domineering. Thinking of this, Yetong became more motivated. At this time, Sig, who walked back slowly, also happened to see this scene. Could it be said that this night pupil is so good? Or, Kaladan is really beautiful, but didn't I find it before? For a while, Sig felt that his life was gloomy. 2 hours later, Nitai also cleared the place inside and out. Large and small garbage was packed in more than 10 bags, and then directly thrown into his own personal space. Miss Kaladan, it has been cleaned up. Yetong offered a gentleman's salute again. Kapu, if you see it, this should be the attitude of the guest. Although Kaladan was very happy, he still did not forget to complain about Karp. Karp chewed on the senbei and said, I'm innocent, okay? A weird kid like this guy, does the ghost know what he is thinking? I want to talk about you for a few days, miss you. I don't know if it is convenient. Yetong still said with honey on his mouth. Chapter 16, I have gained a lot and want to join the navy. In this way, Nitai also stayed. You know, as long as Carp is here, he will definitely make rubbish. I don't have a lot of time to get in touch with Carp, so take this opportunity. At night, Luffy and the others also came back. Brother, why are you here? We were. Boom. Before Luffy finished speaking, Carp directly gave him the iron fist he loved. Go take a shower first. Then roll over to eat. Cap said coldly. After hearing Carp's words, the three little ones quickly left here. You know, Carp's iron fist, but the shadow that accompanied them throughout their childhood. At this time, Nightai also took out the garbage bags in the room arranged by Caladodin. Because after Nightai's test, the rewards of the system will only be triggered when one's own hand touches the garbage. Ding! Pick up a cup that Carp broke, and gain strength plus 10. Ding! I picked up the rag that Caladodin discarded and got a bottle of stinky water. Ding! Yetong quickly picked up all the here. Sure enough, it was the right choice to come here. His pickup value finally exceeded 100,000, and the most important thing was that, among the rubbish, he finally raised his domineering armed color to the intermediate level. In other words, one's own combat power instantly increased to a level. Now, it should be comparable to some of the Navy officers. And the most important thing is that when it comes to Carp's things, they basically provide strength to themselves. My current strength has reached 650 points. Compared to before, it has been directly improved several times. Brother, I'm eating. OZW.com. At this moment, Luffy also opened the door of Nightai, and said slowly. Okay, here comes it. After sorting out his emotions, Yetong also went to dinner with Luffy. But in one day, everyone here accepted Nightai. Especially Caladodin, he really likes Nightai. If it weren't for the difference in age, she would have fallen in love with Nightai. Lieutenant General Carp, how many days are you going to stay here? After Yetong put a piece of meat into his mouth, he also asked directly. I'm going to stay here for a few days, do you care? Carp asked directly too. I don't know why, Carp always feels that this kid is here for himself. Although after he came here, he didn't seem to do anything other than picking up trash. However, Carp believes that he will never feel wrong. Because, I want to join the Navy. Yetong also said directly. This is what Yetong suddenly thought of when sorting out the trash. That is, if you join the Navy, isn't there countless trash to pick up every day? You know, there are still many strong naval forces. As long as they pick up their rubbish, their strength will definitely increase rapidly. At that time, with the sword in his hand, he will step on the warship. Wearing a cloak of justice, lying horizontally on the sea, that is a very prestigious thing. Join the Navy. Brother, don't you go out to sea with us? Aren't we going to be pirates together? Boom. As Lu Fei's voice fell, a big bag appeared on his head again. Chapter 17, Weird Night Eye. What did you just say? Carp also said angrily after punching Luffy. I said, I won't tell you. Luffy stuck out his tongue and ran out quickly. Seeing Lu Fei run away, Carp also looked helpless. My own children and grandchildren are really uneasy one by one. How about Captain General? Or, do you think I should be a pirate too? Yetong said slowly. Compared to being a pirate, Nightai prefers the Navy. After all, I am not interested in what big secret treasures. If it is a huge garbage dump, it is estimated that Yetong will definitely fly on it. So it's impossible to find the big secret treasure, it's better to go to the Navy to pick up trash. Why do you want to join the Navy? Carp asked seriously. Seeing Carp like this, Caladodin knew that he shouldn't be here now. After all, he is a bandit. Although she often doesn't give Carp face, she is also someone who knows the importance. So, all the bandits here left. Why? I think there is a lot of in your Navy, right? My existence is to clean up this rubbish. Yetong also said directly. After hearing what Nitai said, Karp was taken aback. Ha 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 ha. Immediately, he burst into laughter. Clean up rubbish, a good reason. Then you will meet with me at the naval headquarters and be a cleaner. Karp also said with a smile. Wow, is there such a good job? Yetong looked at Karp with shining eyes. Although he knew that there must be a fixed reasonable person in the navy, he did not expect that Karp would actually arrange such a job for him. OZW.com. What a weird one. Karp is also a little speechless. I originally planned to excite Nitai, but I didn't expect that Nitai would have such an excited look. And in Karp's opinion, this guy is actually really excited. Weirdo, there are few weirdos in the navy? There is no shortage of me. Yetong said with a smile. After hearing what Nitai said, Karp also had nothing to say. After all, he is also a weird person. By the way, you've seen a dragon, right? Suddenly, Karp remembered what he really wanted to ask. I almost forgot about being engaged by Nitai just now. I have seen it, isn't he going to be a revolutionary? What happened? Yetong said with some confusion. Of course, he wouldn't tell Karp that his son is his own little brother. You don't want to join him? Karp was puzzled. A weird person like Nitai, and not too old. It should be easy to be moved. Join. On his immature idea, why join in? Become a nondescript pirate. Yetong said disgustedly. After hearing what Nitai said, Karp was speechless again. He found that this teenage boy is simply a strange. There are so many strange things that Karp doesn't want to complain. We will leave tomorrow, so prepare yourself. Karp said, putting down the bowl in his hand, and then left here. And Nitai naturally started his own cleanup work. After all, there is a lot of garbage here. Garbage must be cleaned up. Chapter 18, Room for Improvement. The next day, Yetong left here in a reluctant mood for Kaladodan. Before leaving, I also met with Sangziazai. Only a word with them. 7 years later, don't you guys be too weaker than me. Then, he followed Karp and left. Such a sentence ignited the small universe in the hearts of the three little ones. This also laid a solid foundation for their strength. Came to Karp's boat. This is the kid who is going to join our navy, called, what is your name? Karp looked at Nitai with some doubts, and said slowly. My name is Grot Nitai. Everyone can call me Nitai. From now on, I will help clean up all the on board. You are not allowed to rob me. I'm a cleaner specially approved by General Karp. Nitai also briefly introduced herself. Ha ha ha, this kid is really funny. Well, we won't compete with you in the future. A group of Navy was also amused by Nitai. In this way, Nitai also became a member of this warship. At night, Nitai was alone in his cabin. System, panel. An idea called out his own panel. Host, Nitai. Age, 12. Pickup value, 117,000. Strength, 680. Speed, 210. Defense, 180. Agility, 290. Spirit, 450. OZW.com. Normal human basic attributes 50. Abilities, Armed color domineering medium to high level, domineering color elementary, spear LV3, sword LV5, digest 320. Props, rain with a big knife, Xiling with a good knife, a box of canned herring, King's End and Wealth, 28.38 million Baileys. Title, Picking up a tattered rookie worn, technical attribute plus 50, charm value plus 10. Primary portable space, 10 cubic meters. System, upgrade the portable space. The first thing Nitai has to do now is to improve his own portable space. In this case, you don't have to sneak in to pick things up in the future. As for things disappear, you can throw the pot directly on the devil fruit. Ding! Consume 100,000 pickup points to upgrade the portable space to intermediate level. Intermediate portable space, the capacity is 1000 cubic meters. After being picked up, the items will automatically appear in the portable space. The original portable space of 10 cubic meters was also directly increased by 100-fold at this time. Even if it was a small boat, he could throw it into it. However, seeing his title on the panel, he is still a rookie, and Nitai is still a little unhappy. Of course, he is confident, and he will definitely be promoted to Clean King someday. Boom! At this moment, a huge bump came. Moreover, there was a loud noise. Lieutenant General Karp, we were attacked by the Sea Kings. Then, the voice of the Navy came from outside. Wow, King Kai! Isn't it just the guy who sent the red hair to the guy with the broken arm? Yetong also rushed out excitedly. Soon, a huge sea snake-like creature appeared in Nitai's sight. This thing is at least the length of a small warship. At this moment, he was grinning at the Navy on the deck. Hey, really? The old man needs to rest at night, don't you know? Karp jumped up instantly and punched out. Chapter 19, Source of Life. Karp jumped up, his iron fist didn't even cover his domineering, he swung out directly. Puff! With a soft sound, the arrogant near-sea king class instantly lost its head. Wow! With the sound of falling into the water, the near-sea king class fell on the sea like this. How come you were beaten to death again? The little guy now is getting less and less playing. Karp walked back to the ship in a month, and said some complaints. After hearing Karp's words, everyone was stunned. In this case, Karp would say, hurry up, clean up this corpse, or it will turn into sea rubbish. As a Navy spoke, he took out a hook, ready to hook up the corpse of the Sea King class, and then dispose of it. What, rubbish? Wait, let me come. When I hear garbage, it is still garbage from the sea. This is a new breed, so you must pick it up yourself. Brother, this near-sea king cannot be dragged by one person. All of us work hard together too. Brother Nitai! Call out! Without waiting for them to say anything, Yetong had already jumped high and landed on the corpse of the near-sea king class. Hey, such a big corpse! Surely you can get something super powerful. Thinking of this, Yetong stretched out his hand and directly caught the near-sea king class. Ding! Pick up Karp and kill the corpses of the near-sea kings, get the source of life, and get the moon step. With the reminder of the system's sound, Nitai also started the moon step. Stepped on the water and returned to the deck again. Brother Yetong is amazing, this is your devil fruit ability. Can you just things away? Audiobook.com. You just saw the devil fruit ability. Didn't you see the moon step that Nitai used when the body just disappeared? It's amazing, you're only 12 years old, and it took only a few days after contacting Lieutenant General Karp, and you actually mastered the moon step. A group of navies also began to tout. No, I'm not that genius. It's just that I just took a look at the use of the moon step by Captain General. I tried it and learned it. As Nitai said, he also entered his cabin. When hearing Nitai's words, many navies were confused. I wipe it, learn in seconds. What kind of monster is this, and, it's too pretentious. Ha 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 ha. A group of navies were also shocked, joking back to their posts and cabins. This kid, what I just used is really Uebao. Could it be that he had contact with the Navy before? Karp picked up a piece of information in his hand, which said Grote Nitai. After reading Grote Nitai's information, Karp was also a little helpless. Such information is simply too ordinary to be ordinary. Even, some information is closer to a victim. But Yetong didn't seem to have that kind of breath on her body at this time. When Karp had a headache, Nitai was in a better mood. At this time, he was looking at the information about the source of life. Source of life, special substances extracted from huge biological waste, after use, can greatly enhance body activity, speed up metabolism and new cell vitality. Seeing this brief introduction, Ivankov wouldn't even be able to understand it if it was a member of One Piece world. But Yetong knows. This thing is simply the elixir of life. Chapter 20, See Jun for the first time. The human body will gradually deteriorate due to the passage of time. After middle age, metabolism began to slowly decline. Newborn cells are not enough to replace aging cells. Under such circumstances, a person will slowly grow old. But this thing can actually increase the body's activity, speed up the metabolism and the vitality of new cells. In theory, as long as there are enough things, you will never get old. Thinking of this, Yetong fell asleep deeply. For the next 20 days, they all sailed at sea. On the 27th day, they finally arrived at their destination, Malinvander. This is the headquarters of the Navy, Malinfandu. Looking at the huge gate in front of me, countless stern barrels. There are also warships anchored here. Sure enough, seeing it with my own eyes is far more shocking than seeing it in comics. If I have time to watch later, I will take you to meet someone first. Karp patted Yetong on the shoulder and said slowly. Lieutenant General Karp, can you control your power? It hurts. Yetong also complained for a while. This guy, he likes to come over and pat your shoulder, back, etc. Yetong grinned, who hurt every time. If it wasn't for the strength of his body, he would probably shoot Karp to death sooner or later. Thinking of Luffy's and Long's childhood, Nitai also knew why they were unwilling to stay with Karp as a navy. This is due to historical reasons. Ha ha ha, your boy's body is not so easily broken. Let's go. Karp took the Nitai and quickly came to a courtyard. It should be no ordinary talent to have such a large independent yard in the Navy headquarters. OZW.com Jun girl. Without waiting for Yetong to guess, he heard Karp on one side yelling loudly. Jun. Special Lieutenant General of the Navy, replacement of the General, the sword hero codenamed Daotu. Upon hearing this name, Nitai also had some more information in his mind. The most important thing is not about Jun, but there is another existence behind Jun, that is the Navy's think tank, the current one of the three generals, Tsuru. You know, Tsuru is Jun's sister. In other words, now Karp brought himself here, he should have come to look for the crane. But why should you bring yourself over to find cranes? For a while, Yetong was also a little surprised. After all, he has nothing to do with Crane. And Crane is not responsible for leading the soldiers. Even if you want to take yourself to find a new teacher, it should be Zifa. At this time, Yetong's heart could be said to be puzzled slowly. After all, there is no logic for such a thing. Crunch! At this moment, a girl opened the door. Lieutenant General Karp, my sister said I would not see you. Xiaojun also poked out a head and said mischievously. Ha ha ha, Crane is at home. It's really lucky, Crane, how can you not see me? Karp said to himself, and walked directly in. You, sister said. Kapu will. Jun couldn't stop Karp, and he was a little helpless shouting behind him. Looking at Jun like this, Yetong even wanted to laugh. You know, the Jun you know is a special lieutenant general who wears a cloak of justice and a Jin-kun loyal brandishing mercilessly. Chapter 21, Crane and number 039, S doubts. As for Nitai, he was standing outside the door, waiting somewhere. He is not the guy Karp, a general's yard, he didn't just break in. Little guy, come in. At this moment, a familiar voice came from the courtyard, it was the voice of a crane. It's disturbing. After Yetong saluted, he walked in slowly. At this moment, Karp and Crane were talking about something. However, it was clear that Crane looked disgusted. Because Carp has lost 2 snack bags on the ground. Crane General, I am Grote Nitai. I am going to join the Navy and become a cleaner. Nitai also briefly introduced herself. The Crane, who was frowning, looked at Yetong with interest after hearing what Yetong said. You are here to clean up the garbage. Or, do you have any special ability to clean up garbage? Crane said kindly. For newcomers, Crane is still very gentle. Look, I took a broom and a garbage bag with me. Nitai also took out a broom and pocket casually. Is this your devil fruit ability? What else can you do? He said calmly. There is no weird ability in this world, so he is not surprised. As long as it is garbage, it will disappear completely after I clean it up. Yetong said again. This ability has some effects. Since you want to be a cleaner, go report to Caratel. Jun, you take him over. Crane said directly. I know sister, kid. You. OZW.com. Without waiting for Jun to say anything, Nitai has quickly cleared all the trash can in the kid and the trash that Carp had just thrown on the ground. Sorry, I have some obsessive-compulsive disorder, and I can't help but clean up the garbage. As Yetong said, she also smiled a little silly. Go. Crane didn't say anything, just smiled and nodded. Later, under the leadership of Jun, Yetong also left here. Kapu, you brought such a young man back, have you investigated it carefully? This kid, it's not easy. Tsurumi Yetong said as they walked away. Survey. This guy's information is as clean as white paper. The only thing to be special is that it is a bit miserable. Carp also took out Nitai's information and handed it to Crane. 12 years old. Armed and domineering have been exposed, and you just saw the speed. Also what you said, it will be done if you use the moon step once. You haven't even taught him. Such an existence actually just wants to be a cleaner. Tell me why. Crane asked again. I know why, I won't hand it to you. Okay, I'm going to have tea in the Warring States period. By the way, would you like some senbei? Carp also said with a mean look. Roll. Crane said silently. This guy is really... As Carp left, Crane was also lost in thought looking at the direction in which the night pupil disappeared. At this time, Jun was also walking down the street with Nitai. So there are civilians in the Navy headquarters. Seeing the endless stream of people, Yetong said in confusion. Chapter 22, Have you been proposed? There must be, but they are not considered serious names. In Marin Vatican, most of the civilians are family members of the Navy. Jun said slowly. Then where does your food come from? Yetong said slowly. After all, he did not see the existence of farming here. Our food is provided by the government. Front. Nitai, if you want to clean up the trash, can you wait for you to report it and then clean it up? Jun, who was introducing, once again found that Nitai was missing. This guy actually went to help the owner of the bar next to him by cleaning. Okay, let's go. After a few minutes, Yetong came out and said sorry. This Marin Fandu is simply a big secret treasure. Because it is in the Navy headquarters, the people here are more or less related to the Navy. Moreover, ordinary big-head soldiers will lose some physical strength, speed, and so on. For Nitai, this is nothing short of treasure. Weirdo. Jun murmured. However, he didn't feel anything against this strange guy. This is the Navy cleaning department, and the minister here is the chief Caratel after you. From now on. Miss Jun, why do you have time to come to me? Before the introduction of Jun was finished, Carlatel came out by himself. I'll bring you someone over. It was recommended by my sister and Karpyung. His name is Grote Nitai, and he is the new cleaner who reports. I will leave it to you in the future. Jun also said directly. OZW.com. Okay, I will definitely arrange it. I don't know Miss Jun, do you have any other orders? Caratal said again. By the way, he likes to clean up and arrange more work for him. What kind of training ground, office corridors and other places that are more difficult to clean, let him go. Jun said playfully. If you want to clean up, I will let you clean up enough. Wow! Jun, I really love you. After Yetong heard Jun's words, he rushed to Jun's front, hugged her up, and then turned around a few times. Originally, Yetong's current strength was not enough to attack Jun, but you must know that she has been cultivating under Crane. But because he was just thinking about something, and the distance was too close, he was successfully attacked by Nightai. After hearing Yetong's love to you, Jun didn't know why, but actually forgot to resist. Jun, when I become stronger, I will definitely thank you for your gift today. Minister Caratal, let's talk about work. If I can, I think I can start working today. Look. After Yetong put down Jun, he also pulled Carlotl while talking, and then entered the cleaning department. He said he loves me, and he will thank me after he is strong. This is, am I being proposed? Jun blushed when he thought of this. After that, he ran back directly. At this time, Caratal didn't know what to do with this new Nightai. Logically speaking, even if it is arranged by a big person to obtain the internship qualification, it should not be their cleaning department. Moreover, the relationship between this kid and Miss Jun is so good. Is it really arranged for him to do the cleaning work? Chapter 23, Hurry up and make some rubbish. Sir Caratal, where are we going to clean today? After Yetong talked for a while, he also brought the topic directly to the subject. Then let's clean up Colonel Pinos' office first, and by the way, drag their floor. Today, only here is not cleaned. Caratal also said directly. College. Yes, let's go. Yetong said happily. After all, this is the starting point to start a happy life. Soon, they came to the office building of the chiefs together. Pinos' office is on the second floor, and above that is the General's office. Here. Looking at the clean corridor in front of me, even the trash can in the office is clean. Every day before 5 o'clock in the morning, we will clean these places again. Bringing you here today is just to get acquainted. Caratal also said directly. So. Yetong was disappointed. Well, except for the top floor, we can clean up in the morning. For the training ground, it is after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Now let's go eat something. Yetong. Just when Caratal was about to let Nightai go to eat with him, he found that Nightai had entered Pinos' office. College Pinos, I'm the new cleaner, Nightai. It was Sister He and Uncle Carp who asked me to come. Yetong said directly. Crescent General, Lieutenant General Cap. Brother Nightai, I don't know what you are doing here, I have cleaned up all the trash here. Pinos said with some confusion. Originally wanted to get rid of the anger, but after hearing the names of the two super bosses, Pinos also pressed these emotions. I am a cleaner, so naturally I came to clean up the garbage. OZW.com. So, Colonel Pinos, please make some now. Yetong said nonchalantly. What? Pinos was stunned. What is this nonsense? There is no here, this guy actually asked himself to make rubbish. I said, please make some now. Yetong must have said it again seriously. Is this okay? As Pinos said, he also crumpled a piece of white paper into a ball and threw it on the ground. Thank you Colonel Pinos. After Yetong picked up the garbage on the ground, he also thanked him and left. Both Pinos and Carlotl looked at Nightai with dumbfounded faces. What does this guy want to do? Hey, it's the Navy headquarters, it's much higher quality than Trash Mountain. Yetong said with joy. Just a school officer can provide himself with a speed of 40 points. Although it is only a basic attribute, it is still very powerful. Where shall we go now? Yetong said with some confusion when he saw Caratel who was catching up. Let's go eat now. Then I will take you to familiarize yourself with our scope of work and what to do. While chatting, the two slowly left the office building. At this time, Pinos hesitated. You know, there is something unclean under his hands. Now, Yetong suddenly made such a move, which undoubtedly made him feel lingering. As a result, Pinos never participated in some dark activities outside. For the Navy, it really cleaned up a lot of garbage. Chapter 24, Cuisine. Soon, the two also came to the dining hall of the cleaning department. After eating, Yetong also cleaned the place again, and then went to visit the Navy headquarters with Caratel. In fact, the authority of the Ministry of Cleaning is still very high. Except for the offices and rooms of a few special people, they can basically go anywhere to clean up the garbage. Of course, you cannot go to private rooms. Soon, it was afternoon. Minister Caratel, can we go to the training ground to clean up the now? Yetong happily ran to Caratel and said happily. Should we take a break? Here, someone will clean it this afternoon. No, I am working on the first day of the day. I can't be lazy. Before Carletel finished speaking, Nitai said directly. What are you kidding about? First hand, it's not the same as what they picked up and then discarded. Moreover, you still have to explore your own treasure. By the way, are we responsible for the food here? Yetong said slowly. I have been eating better with carp these past few days. Today I suddenly ate something in the cafeteria, which is really uncomfortable. Yes, we have a special grant to buy food. I know, you may have some. There are 10 million Baileys here, take it. Prepare good food for everyone. Yetong also threw out a bag directly. What? Caratel was stunned. As a price, take me with you no matter where you go to clean up the garbage. Yetong also said directly. After hearing what Nitai said, Caratel didn't understand. You know, the general purpose of giving money to bribe the chief is to make it easier. But this night pupil is actually asking to do more. OZW.com. Okay, but this money. I want to eat better too. After Yetong pushed back the money Caratel handed over, he slowly said. Okay, I'll go back and arrange it here. Let's go to the training ground first. Caratel also put away the bag, and then took Nitai to the training ground. Here, Instructor Roger is training new recruits. The person who is mainly responsible for the training of recruits here is General Zifa. Caratel also introduced. I know. That's Cuisine. While Yetong scanned the training ground here, at the same time, he also found an acquaintance. This guy looks like he is in his 20s now. It looks like it should have just joined the training ground. Cuisine, where is the you through? Nitai also walked directly in front of Cuisine and said his standard lines. My garbage. I never throw trash. Cuisine also said with some confusion. Suddenly a cleaner asked this inexplicably. Cuisine is also a little confused. I'm a cleaner here, so I need to clean up the garbage. Let's fight. If you lose, you will throw some on the ground every day. Yetong also said directly. Yetong didn't just want to pick up trash. After finally seeing a Cuisine who is super powerful in the future, how could it not be a good greeting? He was still very interested in fighting against the green pheasant. Chapter 25, Defeat Cuisine. Cuisine, capable of freezing fruit. It should be about 30 years old now, and neither the armed color nor the knowledgeable color is particularly strong. The only advantage is that the natural fruit ability is very powerful. You cleaner, kind of interesting. Although I don't know what the purpose of Nitai is, Cuisine's face also showed a trace of interest. He was a man of calm personality, and he joined the navy because he admired carp. Want to be like carp, rely on a pair of iron fists to clear the sins at sea. However, after joining the Navy, he has been in this training ground. Stayed for more than a year. Not to mention the elimination of evil, you can't even go out to fight. Therefore, he lacks interest in training. Come on then. As Yetong said, the armed color instantly gathered on his feet and shot out directly. Ice. Boom. So fast. Without waiting for Kuzan to release his abilities, Nightai had already hit him with a punch. Knocked it out. Kuzan, are you awake? Or do you think your body can be invincible? Yetong felt the frost on her fist, and said indifferently. Although he used the armed color, his fist was still affected by the frozen fruit. The knuckles of the fingers are somewhat inflexible. Boy, you are interesting. Armed color, specifically aimed at the ability of the natural devil fruit. Unexpectedly, your grade can actually cultivate to the level of possession. Kuzan stood up from the ground and looked at the night pupil in front of him somewhat cautiously. Hey, nature is really troublesome. As Yetong said, she also slowly pulled out her own Luyu and Xiling. Swordsman. Don't you know that swords are ineffective against natural elements? OZW.com. Could it be that? Boy, have you been able to add domineering to the sword? Kuzan thought of this and instantly raised his hand and pressed it to the ground. The ability of frozen fruit broke out in an instant, and the entire training ground turned into a frozen world in the next moment. The only person, Yetong, turned into an ice sculpture. Oops! Kuzan quickly rushed over. I just made a heavy hand, don't kill this person, right? Laugh. You lose. The long knife in Yetong's hand instantly fell in front of Kuzan. The use of ability is good, but the character is not good. Kuzan, you are not yet qualified to become a navy, so train hard. By the way, should you honor your bet? Yetong also said directly. After hearing what Nightai said, Kuzan was also stunned. A cleaner actually said that he was not qualified to become a navy. Hurry up, throw some rubbish, I want to clean it up and go back. Seeing that Kuzan was stunned, Yetong reminded again. Amount. Kuzan stunned again, then took out a fruit and took a bite, then threw it on the ground. Ding, I picked up the pit that Kuzan discarded, and got a sense of sight. After picking up the garbage on the ground, Nightai was also quite satisfied. Finally found the site. Before at his house, I hadn't seen anything. Finally, the tricolor domineering is all there. Kuzan, what is your dream? After picking up the core of the fruit on the ground, Yetong also turned her back to Kuzan, and said with some old-fashioned. Chapter 26, Pure Fudge Night-Eye. Kuzan, what is your dream? Hearing the words of Yetong, Kuzan was again confused. I want to be a man in the navy, and my dream is naturally to clean up evil and maintain justice. Sweep away sin. Kuzan also said indifferently. Sweep away sin. Then what is the sin in your heart and what is justice? Yetong shook his head and said again. Basically, the navy will say such things. But there are really very few people who have implemented the justice in their hearts and who have absolutely the concept of justice. It is the current great general and the warring states, Zifa and he are all vague about this. In my own memory, there are only a few people in the navy who are the only ones who carry out justice. Kasuski, Kuzan, Smog. Many people, they are very vague, just follow the justice of their place, hesitate to move forward. Pirates are the greatest evil in this sea. The job I have to do is to remove their tumors. Like Lieutenant Carp. Kuzan said again. In Kuzan's eyes, Carp's repeated refusal to be promoted to big will be a very handsome thing. And he wanted to do the same, only doing what he felt was just. Lieutenant General Carp. Ha ha ha, if you want to get to Carp's road, you are still far away. Frozen fruit will only be a cold room, one element. How much have you developed your ability to freeze fruits? Armed sex, to what extent has seen and heard cultivated? Yetong scolded mercilessly. With powerful elemental fruits, he can't even beat himself as a cleaner. Originally, Nitai only wanted to pretend to be in front of the blue pheasant, one of the 3 generals, but when he asked for it, he found that he couldn't take it. OZW.com has said this level, shouldn't it be a comparison? You mean, you want me to go to Lieutenant General Karp to study? Kuzan was stunned for a moment, and said such a thing. Porisalino, you should have heard of Kazarsky. When it comes to teaching students, no one is more suitable for the 3 major generals than Zifa General. Kuzan, you still have a lot to learn, come on. After Yetong finished speaking, she ran away. Going on, I won't have any lines anymore. Sure enough, he is only suitable for flickering. What kind of things like teaching and educating people, it is really not suitable. Kuzan did not ask, but stood in the icy ridge, silent. As for Karatel, he followed Yetong and left here with some trepidation. This kid is really funny. But you told him everything he knew. Zifa was standing on a tall building in the distance and said with a smile on his face. This kid, I don't even understand. As for where he knows the information, I don't even know. The only certainty is that he is not a sin. Karp lost a piece of senbei in his mouth and said lazily. Since it's not a crime, then become justice. How about it, send it to my training ground. Zifa said again. You have to ask him about this yourself. This kid seems to just want to be a cleaner. It's a kid who is only interested in garbage. Ha 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 ha. Karp said here, and left directly. Chapter 27, Long and number 039, S. Call, Karp accepts disciples. After returning to the cleaning department, Yetong stayed in her room. Because of the names of Karp and Crane, Nitai has a separate room of its own. Today's gain is not great, but I probably know the goal of the action afterwards. Now in the Navy headquarters, Crane, Karp, and the results are all there. Even the Marshal Kong is here. It seems that Kasaski and Polosalino are out on mission. The slaughter order has not yet come down, which means that Ohala where Robin is located has not been cleared. However, this group of scholars did not seem to have much to do with them. Yetong thought, time was passing fast. North Road, North Road. At this moment, Nitai's phone worm rang. I'll wipe it, Durag, is it going to do something so soon? Yetong picked up his own phone bug and said with some confusion. You know, the only one who has his own phone bug is Dragon. Moreover, he gave this phone worm to himself. Hey, what's the matter? Yetong said helplessly. Although he was inexplicably worshipped at the top of the mountain, in fact, he was not interested in revolution at all. Revolution, where is the fun of picking up trash? Chief, I have found some partners, and now I am going to find a place to stay. I decided to go to the New World. Long said excitedly. New World. Go, there is a turtle island in the Bailong Sea area. It is a huge living tortoise with a white dragon on the bottom of the sea, which erupts once in 13 days. The northwest and southeast are the main directions of ocean currents. By the way, if you have time, go to O'Hara and copy all the books there. Nitai also began to arrange something. OZW.com. After all, because of the dragon, I got the domineering look, so I can't just leave it alone, right? Moreover, the entire history disappears, and all the books are destroyed, which is not what Nitai wants to see. You know, books can create countless garbage. Ahem, books are the ladder of human progress. I know the leader, then I will prepare. When Long finished speaking, he also hung up. Yetong slowly talked about the phone bug and put it away, then arranged her clothes and stood. Lieutenant General Karp, I don't know if it's so late, why are you coming to me? Yetong said calmly. Have you learned how to see and hear color? Good boy, how about being my apprentice? Carp also opened the door, walked in slowly, and said boldly. No. Yetong directly refused. Carp, although called Carp, is not reliable at all. Being his apprentice, would you like to learn nothing except the iron fist of love? He didn't want to be beaten by this guy as a fool like Luffy. Luffy with rubber fruit couldn't hold back his shameful iron fist, let alone his own head. Don't. Do you believe it or not, I don't want you to be a cleaner. Carp is also a direct threat. If you don't want me to do it, don't do it, I don't want to be your apprentice. For the sake of her lifelong happiness, Yetong must hold the bottom line. Otherwise, I'm really forced to, bat. Otherwise, there will be really no good life in the future. Such shortcomings must not be let others know. Not to mention, let others hold it in your hand. Chapter 28, Apprentice. Seeing Yetong's reluctance to admit defeat, Carp was also a little helpless. You can't force others to be your own disciple yourself, right? And this kid, it might not work if you force him. Shall we discuss it? Don't you like cleaning? Be my apprentice, where do you want to clean, I will take you there. It doesn't matter if you don't like my bondage, but you have to tell the public that you are my apprentice. Carp also said sensibly. Okay. Miss Carp. Yetong instantly changed his face, rushed to Carp, and hugged this thigh. You guys have a terrible face. Well, today you rest first, Teacher, don't, throw some before leaving. Just when Carp was about to leave, the Nitai on one side said immediately. Since I hugged this thigh, I must have some apprentice gifts. There is nothing on me, wait for me to eat some senbei. Carp also ate slowly, and then lost a few food bags. Okay. Carp was a little helpless. Is it a good thing to accept this disciple himself? There is no problem with strength, talent, and temperament, but this habit of picking up garbage is a bit weird. Moreover, the devil fruit ability of this guy is a bit strange. Teacher, don't you see that you still have a knife? Destroy it, and then throw it out. At this time, Nitai also saw a long knife on Carp's waist. Yetong noticed it before. But in Nitai's memory, Carp doesn't need a knife. This is left by my last disciple. You. My shilling will change it for you. Before Carp finished speaking, Nitai quickly handed out his XI ling. OZW.com for me, Liang Kui Dao is not enough. Moreover, the knife that Carp threw out. Either get a powerful swordsmanship level, or get a rare good sword. You kid, I'm really %. Crack. Okay, I'll go back first. Carp took XI ling from Nitai's hand and left quickly. Otherwise, here, it is estimated that it will be stripped in a while. Ding, pick up the food bag that Carp discarded, and get armed color 1. Ding, pick up the food bag that Carp discarded, and get armed color 1. Ding, I picked up the broken sword that Carp broke and discarded, got a sharp sword sound, and got swordsmanship 3. Soon, Nitai also cleaned up the garbage on the ground. I checked my swordsmanship, now it has been upgraded to LV6. Moreover, once again obtained a big sharp knife. Go practice it. Yetong looked at the sky outside and left here too. While visiting during the day, Yetong found a barren mountain here. There are no people here, and there are many trees and rocks. It happens to be a good place to practice your abilities. Chang. Yetong directly pulled out her own rain and spirit. The armed color domineering, also quickly spread to the long sword. Although only the blades of 2 knives can be covered for the time being, it is still enough. Ho-ho! Nitai began to wave. With the blessing of powerful basic attributes, the trees in front of them were also directly cut off. Even some stones were easily cut open. Chapter 29, Amazing Creature, Woman. You step. After Yetong put away her double knives, she also began to exercise her 6 skill moon steps. Moreover, when I picked it up recently, I saw shaved. With countless kicks, Yetong shot out instantly. In addition, the agility attribute is not low, even with the blessing of shaving, Nitai can still move flexibly. Call. Yetong exhaled, then stopped. System, panel. Host, Nitai. Age, 13. Pickup value, 28,000. Strength, 980. Speed, 610. Defense, 580. Agility, 490. Spirit, 1050. Normal human basic attributes 50. Abilities, Armed color domineering medium to high level, domineering color elementary level, spear LV3, sword LV6, digest 320. Props, the big knife falls in the rain, the big knife sounds sharp, a box of canned herring, the king's and. Wealth, 20.38 million Baileys. Title, Basic Rookie picking up tatters worn, Basic Attribute plus 70, Charm Value plus 20. Intermediate Portable Space, 1000 cubic meters. After checking his own panel, Nitai can be regarded as knowing how much strength the attribute enhancement brings. It can be said that compared with the time when he just stood out from the uncertainty terminal, his strength has more than doubled. Sure enough, picking up the of the strong is the fastest way to improve strength. Besides, how come you have reached 13 without knowing it? You can use a sword. At this moment, a masked man appeared in Nitai's sight. This mask, I really don't know what effect it will have. Looking at the woman with long hair in front of her, Yetong said helplessly. OZW.com. You don't need to try it at all, you know directly that it is the girl in Jun. I don't know if she often comes here to exercise or because someone called her over. However, looking at it this way, it should be that I want to fight myself. Fortunately, you can also try how strong it is known as the peach rabbit. Come on, you want to fight, right? Yetong slowly pulled out the sound. Interesting, come on. Jun also pulled out his own Jin Kun Luo. Attention, Jun. Yetong smiled, shaving also broke out instantly. At this moment, Jun was stunned. This guy actually knew his identity. Just for a moment, Yetong has already bullied herself up. Before she drew out the long sword, a big hand grabbed her hand. Remember, a swordsman cannot be distracted by the opponent's words under any circumstances. Moreover, the most important thing for a swordsman is the long sword in his hand. If your opponent has touched the weapon, you have already lost. Next time remember, you don't need to mask your face. The charming temperament on your body can't be blocked by a face cloth. After Yetong finished speaking, he also lifted the face cloth of Jun. You. Do you like me? I tell you, I am going to be a general. If you have always been a cleaner, we cannot be together. After Jun was lifted off the face cloth, he said shyly. What? Yetong was stunned. Is this girl's imagination so fierce? I am now a colonel. When you surpass me, I will promise your pursuit. After Jun finished speaking, he also ran away. There was a stunned Nitai. Chapter 30, Come to the training ground again. Some helpless Nitai also went back to rest. The next day. Nitai, we can go to clean up. As a minister, after spending a day with Nitai, Caratel also found that he seemed to have changed. You know, it's usually their own subordinates to clean up. But Yetong is a little special, so let's stay with him by yourself. Moreover, this is the of wealth in their cleaning department. I'm ready. In the next second, Yetong opened the door and walked out directly. Anything can be slacking off. But such an important thing as picking up cannot be slackened. Then let's go to the office building now. Caratel said, leaving here with Nitai too. Time just passed day by day. Originally, Nightai was going to find her own cheap teacher Carp, to find those familiar characters. But Carp seems to have been busy with something recently. Since the last time, he hasn't seen a trace. As soon as time passed, 1 year passed. Inside the training ground. Nightai, don't think about it, come to me for training. Because Yetong often came here to clean up and sanitary, she also got acquainted with Zifa. And Zifa always wanted to accept Nightai. Zifa General, you are here again. I have said that I am Carp's apprentice. If General Zifa wants to accept me as a student, you have to talk to teacher Carp. Nightai also carried out Carp's shield. That guy, forget it. Here, Kuzan will graduate today. If it weren't for you, I would have to wait 2 more years, how about it? Would you like to try the results of my teaching? Zifa also slightly raised the corners of his mouth and said slowly. After all, as long as he sees his results, he might have the idea of joining the training. Okay. OZW.com. Nightai is about to try it too. A year passed, he was not idle. Your devil fruit abilities can also be used, this guy uses abilities now, but it is much stronger. Zifa kindly reminded. My ability? No, I used the power, and he will die. Yetong smiled and walked directly to the training ground. Boom! At this moment, a man with a cigarette in his hand waved at him with 10 hands. You are the Nightai that Master Kuzan said. I am also 14 years old, I want to challenge you. The person who came with the knowledge of smog, in the legend, could not be beaten by anyone, but would only hit the smoker of Luffy. Smog. You are too weak. Boom. Yetong said, shaving started instantly. Nightai's fist directly touched Smog. The next moment, he flew out directly. Your strength has also improved a lot. A chill slowly spread over. Kuzan, you are not bad too. However, when did you accept such a demented boy? Nightai also pointed to Smog on one side, vomiting. He, a very nice person. Get out of here, Yetong and I are going to fight. Kuzan said, a chill slowly swept across the training ground. Compared with the frozen world before, Kuzan's use of frozen fruits is even more powerful. Other people also quickly withdrew from the training ground. Watching the battle between Kuzan and Nightai, the strongest in the training ground. Chapter 31, Win Kuzan again. After everyone retreated, they all stared intently at the court. Especially Smog, he wanted to see, why this man fought Big Brother Kuzan. I heard that your swordsmanship is very strong, today I will try your swordsmanship first. Ah! Kuzan said, let out a cold breath. An ice blade slowly appeared in his hand. A strong cold air surrounds the ice blade. Fencing. Kuzan, sometimes you are really stupid. As Yetong said, the rain and Lingxiang in his hand were also directly pulled out. With the acceleration of the shave, he appeared in front of Kuzan in the blink of an eye. Even if it's training, if you don't have the strength to win, it's disrespect for yourself and your opponent. Blood will let you understand this truth. Crack! With just one blow, the ice blade in Kuzan's hand was cut off. The armed and domineering blade also pierced Kuzan's chest instantly. A touch of redness suddenly appeared. You are right, you should not be arrogant. Frozen time capsule. Kuzan was also unambiguous and withdrew directly. Ice bullets hit instantly. No losses Kuzan. In a year's time, develop the fruit ability to this level. Super Witchcraft, horizontal jump left and right. Nightai instantly used the strongest sorcery, jumping left and right. With the blessing of the basic attributes of shaving and strong speed and agility, the ice bullet could not hit the Nightai at all. However, no matter where these ice bombs fall, a huge ice ridge will appear. If you continue, the space for yourself to move will soon become smaller. OZW.com. This guy probably thinks the same way, right? Double knife flow, the first type of traverse water wheel. Yetong held the knife horizontally and cut it out instantly. The faint sword aura, with this move, overflowed the blade. However, the level of slashing has not yet been achieved. However, under the blessing of shaved and armed color, Yetong also instantly slashed all the ice ridges and appeared behind Kuzan. Its terrible explosive power, are you gathering the armed color on your feet? Kuzan's elemental body also slowly healed, and a few ice beads of sweat fell on his face. At that moment, Kuzan thought he was going to die. Even Zifa, who was watching the battle from a distance, was in a cold sweat. However, Nitai's attack just hurt Kuzan's skin. When they are aware of the danger, those with natural ability subconsciously use elementalization. If it hadn't been for more research on frozen fruits this year, maybe you would have killed yourself just now, right? Not bad, I won't be able to release the elementalization without being scared by the surprise attack. I know you still have some abilities that you haven't released, but if you fight with me with your current mentality, you will definitely lose. Sure enough, it's still far away. Yetong put his double knives into the scabbard, and then hooked at Kuzan. I know. Kuzan was also in his arms, and threw the prepared garbage on the ground. After Yetong picked it up, he left here with satisfaction. Seeing Yetong leave, Kuzan also shook his hand and lifted the surrounding ice ridge world. How about it, have you decided? Zifa also appeared behind Kuzan and said slowly. It's decided. If you don't stay here, you can't continue to improve. I want to become a real navy, and then go to the sea to sharpen my strength. In the face of sin, my fists won't hesitate, I will challenge him again. Kuzan also said directly. Chapter 32, I don't go. Nitai, who returned to his residence, also called up his panel. Host, Nitai. Age, 14. Pickup value, 158,000. Strength, 2,180. Speed, 1,510. Defense, 1,480. Agility, 1,690. Spirit, 1950. Normal human basic attributes 50. Abilities, Armed color domineering medium to high level, domineering color elementary, spear LV5, sword LV7, digest 320. Skills, double knife flow, water wheel horizontal cut, shave, moon step. Props, the big knife falls in the rain, the big knife sounds sharp, a box of canned herring, the king's underwear, the source of life and. Wealth, 40.38 million Baileys. Title, A beginner in picking up tatters has been worn, basic attributes plus 100, charm value plus 120. Intermediate portable space, 1000 cubic meters. Looking at his panel, Yetong was also lost in thought. His basic attributes are dozens of times that of normal humans. And in 1 year, except for the drastic changes in basic attributes, nothing else has changed. Cut, it looks like I'm going to find that guy. After Yetong closed her panel, Shi Shiran also walked out of her room. Nitai, Zifa University will be waiting for you outside. Just when Yetong was about to leave, Caratel was just about to come and look for him. Zifa General. I know. As Yetong said, she also went out. But there are some doubts. After all, he just defeated his proud disciple and refused to join the training ground. He came to find himself at this time. Is there something wrong? Zifa General, are you looking for me? But doubts go to doubts. Now that Yetong has come to look for herself, Yetong also smiles to meet her. OZW.com. This guy is a big treasure. Kuzan is now a brigadier general, and I have been assigned to perform the task. Zifa also said directly. Oh. What happened? Yetong asked indifferently. After hearing Yetong's words, Zifa's eyebrows couldn't help but twitch. What happened? With such a strong strength of your kid, if you join the Navy now, you will be a brigadier general starting. Now it is not comparable to the prosperous naval era afterwards, this kind of strength is already very powerful. Of course, it's a long way from the 3 generals. Are you not interested in military rank at all? Sora has the strength, don't you want to do something for the sea? It's your dream to stay here to pick up trash. Zifa became more angry the more he thought about it, and he asked directly. Do something. I have been working as a cleaner. I am doing my own little power for the environmental problems of this world. Does Zifa University think my job is embarrassing? Yetong also asked directly. After hearing Yetong's rhetorical question, Zifa was dumbfounded. Now it's in the cleaning department, surrounded by cleaning soldiers. Although Zifa didn't think there was anything wrong with the cleaners, Yetong stayed here, almost %. Don't get me wrong, your job is very good. But I think, will it be better to clean up the trash at sea? After all, you have this strength. Zifa also said again. He is a great general and is responsible for his words and deeds. I will not go. Yetong said unmovedly. Chapter 33, Carp is scared. Nitai didn't even think about it, so he refused. With his current strength, if you encounter a golden lion in the ocean, brother Doflaming, ant like this, you can just GG directly. The cloak of justice is not so easy to carry. Rather than go to sea to fight, it is better to be here. There are many strong men's garbage to pick up. When it's okay, go to Xiaojun to have a heart-to-heart talk. When you're bored, take Carp's name to intimidate others to throw some trash. How happy is such a life? Moreover, there is very little garbage at sea. Apart from the source of life for sea kings, there seems to be nothing worth looking forward to. As for the eradication of sin, that is not my dream. If you join the Navy, I promise you one thing. Zifa said helplessly. You know how many people in the Navy want to be in his training camp. As long as you graduate from here, you basically start with a school official. A talented person can directly become a brigadier general like Kuzan. But Nitai, this guy is simply a monster. Promise me one thing. Yes, every time I complete a mission, I need you to collect at least 3 pieces of for me from all navies above the general level in the headquarters. Yetong said with a smile too. Zifa was stunned after hearing what Yetong said. It's that simple. Zifa said slowly. Yeah, it's that simple. By the way, Marshal Sora's too. Yetong said again. Ha ha ha, this is nothing like this. Let's go, I'll arrange it for you. Zifa laughed and left here with Nitai. Caratel was also relieved to see Yetong leave. Although Nitai is here, they are much less working. OZW.com. But this guy always threatens the school officer, Brigadier General. Such things make their hearts simply unbearable. After arriving at the training camp, Carp was also waiting here. Persuaded. No, this kid shouldn't be someone who can easily be persuaded. Carp also said directly. He made a request for me. Zifa also stated Nitai's request. Ha ha ha, it really is this kid's style. By the way, Teacher, let's go to your old friend Zhangguo for tea first. Before Carp finished speaking, Nitai said directly. Hearing this, Carp stopped talking. I thought it was a simple thing to take Nitai to pick up the trash, but when there is such a door, others will know that they came for trash. After a long time, even Carp is a bit hard to face his old friends. So after 3 months, Carp ran away by going out to perform the task. Finally stayed up until Nitai was about to go to sea, and now this guy is coming again. I won't do it. I just came to see you, now I'm going to catch the pirate. Carp finished speaking and ran away. Seeing Carp's appearance, Zifa was also a little worried. The person who can make Carp afraid, this little guy is really. Cut, there is no responsibility to be a teacher at all. Yetong complained. Hearing Yetong's complaints, Zifa also gave a dry smile. It seems that we should send him out to sea quickly, or else I will be like this too. Chapter 34, New Features, Ready to Go to Sea. Nitai, now I will directly arrange your status as a graduate, and then put up a colonel. Here we'll prepare a warship for you, and then equip it with some basic combatants, helms, and navigators. Do you have any more needs? Zifa also said directly. I don't need it, I just want to know, what task am I going to perform? Yetong said with some confusion. It's up to you, now there are tasks on the sea. As long as the existence of a reward order exceeding 10 million is caught, I will count you as completing the task. Zifa also said directly. They don't have any special tasks now, even if it is Ohala's affairs, Crane is now in charge. Therefore, there is no need to control Nitai. So directly arranged such a task. Thank you. Give me a reward. Yetong is also a decisive person. Now that it has been decided, let's do it well. If the order is offered, it will be prepared for you on the warship. By the way, I will give you a gift too. This is the famous sword Kaihuyan, it's a big knife. Jump! After Zifa finished speaking, he also broke Kaihuyan in his hand and threw it to the ground. This is not disrespect for Nitai, but he knows that this seems to be a special practice of Nitai. Thanks a lot then. As Yetong said, she also picked up the debris on the ground. Ding! Pick up the broken knife that Zifa discarded and get the supreme big knife Muramasa. Get Swordsman 8. Congratulations to the host, trigger a pickup crit and get 50,000 pickup points. At this moment, the system reminder sounded in Nitai's ear. I rub, 50,000. Pickup crit. For a moment, Yetong was stunned. You know, usually picking up these big will get some picking value, which is more than 1,000. But now, I got 50,000. OZW.com. Ding, the pickup value is enough to open the new function, please confirm whether to open the host. Without waiting for Yetong's surprise to pass, the system reminder sounded again. New function. Turn on. Yetong chose to open it without hesitation. Ding, consume 200,000 pickup points and open them all. With the reminder of the system prompt, the panel also appeared in front of me. At the same time, a new key surface appeared above. After clicking on it, a dazzling array of goods appeared in Nitai's sight. Thousands of World Store. Random Devil Fruit, 200,000 pickup value. Domineering Enhancement Card, 100,000 pickup value. Right Round Eyes, 200,000 pickup value. Bayman Dungia, 300,000 pickup value. Tegu Village Rain, 300,000 pickup value. Looking at the things in the store, nothing is bad. But the pickup value at the back is also very gorgeous. It's a 6-figure number at every turn, and if you save up for a year, it's just that number when you pick up trash every day. Nitai, are there any doubts? Zifa also said with some doubts when he saw that Yetong stopped moving. No, I am ready to go to sea now. Yetong said directly. Although it is possible to pick up a lot of discarded by the strong here, the people here have basically picked it up once. The second picking is not as good as the first time. On this basis, Nitai will have an idea to go to sea. This is the only way to get in touch with more fresh garbage. Chapter 35, On the Eve of Going to Sea. Well, if you have nothing to do, you can start right away. Zifa was also relieved. Finally, this guy was moved. Nothing. By the way, I want a devil fruit, I think you should be able to take it out. Yetong also said directly. Devil fruit. Zifa was a little puzzled, isn't this kid with the ability of devil fruit? Why would you still ask yourself to find devil fruits for him? Yes, it doesn't matter what abilities it is, and even the unknown. Yetong said again. No problem, I'm going to find the empty marshal now. You should also get acquainted with your warship first. After Zifa finished speaking, he also left here. Hey, don't run away alone. I have no idea. Colonel Nitai. When Nitai complained, a navy also appeared behind him and saluted. You are, Tina. After seeing the person behind him, Yetong was also stunned. Shouldn't Tina still be a student now? Why, are you wearing navy clothes now? Yes, Colonel Nitai, I am your navigator, Captain Tina. I am responsible for taking you to your warship. Tina also said directly. Okay, let's go. You know, Tina is also a very good navigator. And she's still a beauty, it's not bad to bring her around. Soon, they came to the ship port. This is the warship we went out this time. It has 8 artillery pieces, a draft of 1,280 tons, and 100 cabins. OZW.com crew, 12 gunners, 3 watchmen, 5 helms, 2 navigators, 5 cleaners, 10 cooks, and 40 combatants. This is a roster, please review it. Tina also handed out a roster, and then reported all the information here. 77 people. I don't want the cleaners here, I can just clean myself. By the way, Tina, you and Jun are friends, right? Yetong also said slowly. Yes. Tina and Jun are friends. Tina also said slowly. Well, let's get on the boat. When Zifa will come over, we will go to sea. After speaking, Yetong also got on the boat. 2 hours later, Zifa also came with a box. Handed over to Yetong, Zifa originally wanted to chat with Yetong. But I heard Yetong say, throw some rubbish. Then, he fled straight away. Nitai, you are so amazing. Tina loves it. Seeing that Yetong scared her instructors away, Tina also looked at Yetong admiringly. Alright Tina, see where the nearest pirate is. By the way, the target is Zihai. Yetong also said directly. As for why it is Zihai, because there is a person who is very interested in Nitai, right here. Moreover, there are many pirates here, with tens of millions of pirates. The most important thing is to start from Marin Vondo. You can reach the West Sea directly through the windless zone, which is closer than the East Sea. In the East China Sea, there are basically no big pirates because carp often goes shopping. There are only a few, and the current reward is only a few million. People like Red Nose Bucky have just reached 8 million. Therefore, I will not go to the East China Sea. I've seen it here. The nearest pirate group in the West Sea is the Jareth Pirates. Chapter 36, No Wind Zone. After locking the target, he also directly handed over the task of sailing to Tina. As for Nitai, it was time to clean up the warship. However, before Nitai came up, it was all cleaned by the cleaners here. Sure enough, there is no need for cleaners where you are, or you are simply robbing yourself of something. A week later, they came to the windless zone. Looking at the sky without a trace of clouds, and the calm sea. Nitai stayed on the deck too, not knowing what he was thinking about. Captain Yetong, have lunch. Tina came to Yetong with a lunchbox. Tina, are you a fruitful person? After Yetong took the food, he asked directly. Tina is a demon fruit capable person, a superhuman fruit of the grid. Tina also said directly. How is your ability development now? Yetong asked while eating. No, I can only do 2 tricks now. The feather threshold and the black gun formation. Tina is a little weak, right? Tina also said somewhat disappointed. Already know these 2 tricks. In Nitai's memory, Tina seemed to have always used these 2 tricks, and there were some physical changes in the fight. You are a fruit-powered person, why don't you think about it, can you lock up everything else? For example, the ability to lock in others. For example, lock the space. Yetong also said slowly. Tina was also stunned after hearing what Nitai said. Tina, who has devil fruits, has been studying how to develop devil fruits, but her character was originally kind of cute. I can't think of these at all. And now, I was awakened directly by Yetong's words. OZW.com. In theory, the fruit of your own grid should be able to lock anything. As long as you work hard to develop in this direction, it should be possible. Wow! At this moment, a bird's head and snake body unexpectedly appeared on the bow of the ship. The helmsman, immediately turn right, then accelerate. Attention everyone, don't attack the Sea Kings, attacking the Sea Kings here will attract more powerful. Colonel Nitai. While Tina was arranging things here, she suddenly discovered that Nitai had already flown out on a moonwalk. Hello there. Cut horizontally. After Yetong finished speaking, she also used her double knife flow and water wheel to cut horizontally in an instant. Puff! A stream of blood sprinkled wildly from the body of the Sea King class. Attention everyone, prepare for shelling. Tina, continue on with the boat, I will catch up by myself. Without waiting for Tina to arrange, Yetong shouted loudly. Tina understands. Tina is a navy that superbly obeys orders and prohibitions, and immediately began to order to move forward. As long as the corpses of the Sea Kings appear in the windless zone, more Sea Kings will appear soon. Moreover, it will even attract those super monsters. And if the warship is here, it will attract their attack. Don't look at these guys as being lazy, but under the stimulation of blood, the fighting power is not so little. Aang! As the bird-shaped Sea King yelled, he directly attacked Nitai. It's still a bit weak, I can't cut off this guy's defense at all. Yetong looked at the blood in front of her, and said helplessly. Chapter 37, 100 Birds, Kill the Sea King Class. In the face of the Neptune-like attack, Yetong also took a moon step and avoided. You know, being hit by this big guy is not such a fun thing. Double blade flow cross slash. Nitai again. He rushed forward, aimed at the eyes of the Neptune class, and came directly. Puff! At this moment, the Neptune class also quickly closed his eyes. The crosscut fell, without even breaking his eyelids. Hey, it's really amazing defense. At this time, Yetong I finally knew how strong this guy Kapu was. This is not only domineering, but also physical skills, own power. Try if you can get it right now. As Yetong said, he also included his rain in the portable space. Then pulled out the village rain. This is a great knife. Moreover, the self just now did not use domineering. The first time you fight, you have to show yourself well. As Yetong said, he also held knives in both hands, and suddenly attacked. The current Nitai can be shaved while maintaining the moon step. More than 1,000 points of speed, plus shaved. An instant burst of rapidity. Puff! The original indestructible eyelids were directly cut open by Murakami. Hey, it's really sharp. Yetong smiled faintly, and continued to slash. Single pole flow aviary. OM. Yetong walked away on the moon step, and gently shook the long knife in his hand. The blood on the blade also disappeared instantly. And the Neptune class that stood upright there also burst out countless blood, and bloodbirds bloomed in the air. OZW.com. Wow! After a few seconds, the Neptune class fell. The blood also spread rapidly, and the sea water here soon turned red. Hurry up! Nitai fell directly on the Neptune class, and then put his hand on the Neptune class. Ding! Pick up the Sea King corpse, get the source of life 3, gain 200 strength, and 200 defense. Get a pickup value of 700. After picking up the corpse of the Sea King, Yetong quickly rushed towards the warship with a moonwalk. Soon, countless Sea Kings appeared here. Seeing the giant beasts appearing behind him, Yetong also throbbed a little. On one side is heart palpitations, this Sea King is really many and powerful. On one side is excitement, how many sources of life this is. But now he does not have the strength to hunt infinitely here. It seems that when he is free, Carp will bring himself out to play. After returning to the warship also accelerated in science and headed towards the West China Sea. With eternal pointers, there is no fear of getting lost suddenly. Soon, the Neptune class behind him could no longer be seen. Captain Yetong, you are fighting against the Sea King like this regardless of your own safety. Tina is very angry. Tina angrily found Yetong and she was so angry. Boom. After Yetong said me, he fell directly on the deck. Although the Neptune was killed, the moon step and shave were used all the time. And when the aviary was finally used, it always maintained its armed color. For physical exertion, it is not a little bit. Seeing that Yetong was unconscious, Tina quickly sent him to the cabin. Soon, a ship doctor came over. The ship doctor is another navigator and also serves as a ship doctor. Chapter 38, Use the Source of Life. It's okay, the colonel is just a little tired. Excessive physical exertion, just take a rest, that's it. After the ship doctor finished speaking, he left directly. The next day, Yetong woke up from his cabin. Tisk tusk tusk, this kind of distrength feeling is really uncomfortable. Feeling the soreness from the body, Yetong said helplessly. Although there was training at Marin Vondo before, there really is no such thing as a direct release. If it is Kuzan, it is estimated that this big guy will be solved in an ice age. Sure enough, his overall strength needs to be improved. System, use the source of life. Nitai chose to use the source of life directly. I have several of these things myself. Always try, what kind of effect does this so-called promotion have? Ding, use the source of life 1. As the system's prompt sounded, the strength in Nitai's body began to slowly recover. Soon, the soreness and weakness completely disappeared. But is there no other effect? After looking at his basic attributes, there was no change. And other things, nothing has changed. Could it be that this thing is a super effective healing medicine? However, what can only be extracted from the powerful Sea Kings, shouldn't that be the case? After waiting for a while, there was no other change, and Nitai was also a little helpless. Leave him alone, let's go out and have a look. Are you up? Tina brought you breakfast. At this time, Tina also walked in. Thank you, Tina. However, I don't seem to be hungry. OZW.com. Yetong felt his body for a while, and didn't feel hungry at all. How is it possible? I fainted at noon yesterday. It is impossible now. You have to eat well, or your body won't be able to stand it. Tina will be worried too. Tina said again. And the effect of Army Liang pill. For not being hungry, Yetong also blamed the source of life. Okay Tina, I know. After Yetong finished speaking, he came to the deck again. By the way, Tina, how long will we have to get to the West Sea? Yetong missed the days in Malinvander. At least, a lot of garbage can be picked up every day. But when it comes to the sea, there is no other except to clean up the warship every day. After so many days, there are times when the garbage is cleaned up, and even the pickup value is gone. Therefore, Nitai's desire for land is not a little bit. In 3 days, we should be able to reach the first island in the West Sea, Perdax. Tina said slowly. I know. Tina, plan your route. As long as it is a human island, stop there. Yetong said slowly. Then, he drew the long sword and began to practice. Seeing Yetong's behavior, Tina did not insist anymore. After all, even if this man is stubborn, he is so charming. After Tina left, Yetong also began to wave the village rein in her hand. But what Yetong didn't know was that as he began to exercise, his body was undergoing earth-shaking changes. If he opens the panel, he will see that his basic attributes are obviously improving. Chapter 39, Start Cleaning. 3 days later, they also arrived at the first island, Pildax Island. Baidena's expected time has increased by half a day. Along the way, except for cleaning, Nightai was practicing, and didn't make troubles, so that's why it has such a speed. Tina, come on shore. Is there any power here? Yetong said slowly. Even though it is a fanfare of One Piece, it doesn't mean that the pupils don't know the whole One Piece world very well. After all, liking and researching are two different things. There were even many things that Nightai almost forgot. I only know that there are some special forces here, and these small islands have never heard of it. There is a small country on Pildax Island, but it is not an ally. There are no special products here, and the civilians just cultivate themselves and then become self-sufficient. There is no strong power, and the Shanghai thieves are raging. This country is very weak. Tina slowly spoke out the information she had compiled. There must be a lot of in such a country, right? Yetong's eyes were shining. For such a small country, even life is a problem, and there is definitely no time to clean up. It seems that there is hope for my work. Well, and the security here is also a problem. There are bandits in the back mountains. Tina said again. Go up. After the general was docked, Nightai also directly boarded Pildax Island. Except for the few people stationed on the ship, everyone else went ashore. The chefs are responsible for purchasing, and the other is to take a rest on land. As for Tina, she followed Yetong as a small attendant. Tina, go relax, I'm here to work now. Seeing Tina following, Yetong said helplessly. OZW.com After all, I am not here to play. It feels a bit weird to take a girl to pick up trash. Where Colonel Nightai goes, Tina is there. Tina said firmly. Let's go, take you to eat something first. Yetong took Tina into a restaurant and ordered some dishes. Occupational disease was committed, and the garbage was cleaned up quickly. Soon, the originally messy restaurant became completely new. Even the dust was cleaned up by Nightai. Hey, that's good. A small restaurant provides more than 100 pickup points, as well as some basic attributes, such as Bailey. It seems that my guess is not wrong. Nightai was thinking before, if he has been learning experience in Malin Fanduo, will he be exploited by the system? After seeing the situation here, it can be considered clear. It's not because of the improvement of one's own strength, but because too many repetitions will be rewarded by exploitation. Lord Navy, thank you. Today. Boss, you throw a piece of on the ground, even if you thank me. This is the money for this meal. Nightai quickly took out a $10,000 Bailey and placed it in front of the boss. This. Okay. Although I don't know why Nightai did this, but it was done according to what Nightai said. After getting the change, Yetong said hello to Tina and left here and went out to sweep the street. Until the evening, the street was finally cleared. Seeing that he had gained a few hundred pickup points, Yetong's mouth also showed a satisfied smile. Sure enough, the cleaning work really makes people feel happy. Chapter 40, Attract Pirates. At this time, the entire Pildax Island knew. The navy landed, and a strange character came. A colonel who likes to clean up rubbish, and cleaned up their streets on the first day. And this navy is not like other navies, that kind of superior feeling. Even now it's night, and they are still in some night bars, cleaning up the garbage. 3 days later. As long as the residents' homes in the town were swept away by Nightai. The whole town is also completely new. Even the king of the kingdom of Pildax, Cockagello, came to meet the colonel, but in the end he took the colonel away because of the reason to clean up the palace. However, their sense of Nightai is still very good. Have you been attacked by those pirates here? After cleaning up the palace, Yetong also directly asked Cockagello. It's only some little pirates who come to us. The big pirates don't bother to rob us. And the bandits here, Lord Navy, you. Well, my people have gone to clean up the bandit. We will stay here for 2 more days. During this time, can you attract pirates? Nitai directly asked the question she cared most. Indeed, there will be no big pirates here. But Yetong believed that there must be some way here. It's just that I am not sure about it. There is a way, as long as we get huge wealth, we can attract big pirates. Cockagello also said directly. Huge wealth. I have 30 million here, is that enough? As Yetong said, he threw out a bag directly. OZW.com is full of 10,000 yuan Bailey. Enough, this is enough to attract tens of millions of pirates. Cockagello was a little excited. After he became the king, let alone have a lot of wealth, he could hardly even maintain this country. If it weren't for the people here still live and work in peace, the country would have died long ago. This is the status quo in many small countries. Can't pay the heavenly gold, nor have enough force to resist the pirates. It's like duckweed on this sea. If a wave hits it, it will be destroyed at any time. Seeing such a scene, Yetong felt a little bit in her heart. Such existences are countless in the world. If you want to save them, you must change the policy of Tianlong people collecting protection fees. But wanting to change that group of guys is not that simple. Attract you, I will allow you to live a stable life before leaving. As Yetong said, she also left. As time passed, Yetong continued to do her own cleaning task the next day. The third day. It was the second day when Cockagello promised to attract the pirates. A pirate ship appeared outside Pildax Island. Little ones, there is only one navy colonel here. With the 3 of us, it is enough to destroy them all. This is the West China Sea. Even the navy will have nothing to do with us. Ready to bombard. On a pirate ship, their captain also began to mobilize. Hey, you are the bounty of 12 million, are you beheading Yuluk, the leader of the pirate group? Just as Yuluk was about to attack, a voice came into his ears. Chapter 41, Let me clean up first. After hearing this voice, Erlock jumped out instantly. He hadn't noticed just now that this kid was so close to him. You know, there are still very few domineering things. Seeing and hearing the color is domineering, and it is not a popular product. In addition, Nitai's basic attributes are relatively high, so he came quietly, and no one found him at all. Navy. The Cloak of Justice. You are the Navy Colonel here. After seeing Nitai's costume, Yuluk also knew who he was facing. Your boat is really dirty. Don't worry about fighting, I'll clean up first. After Yetong finished speaking, he took out the broom and trash shovel, and immediately started cleaning. I originally saw Yetong suddenly take out the broom, thinking it was his special weapon. But seeing Nitai began to sweep the floor, Erlock was also dumbfounded for a while. What's going on? I am a pirate. What is this navy coming to sweep the ground? Could it be said that his arrogance has reached the level of subduing the navy colonel? Captain Yuluk is mighty and domineering. The captain is amazing. When the navy colonel saw you, he started sweeping the floor. Don't take a look, who is this? This is a great captain. A group of pirate boys also began to flatter. Yuluk was also so dizzy that he didn't know his surname anymore. In his eyes, this invasion against Pildax had been successful. Boom! At this moment, the pirates on another ship also jumped onto this ship. Yuluk, what is going on? Should the navy sweep you the floor? The leader of the Donardo pirates, Donato, also asked directly. Donardo, known as the Human Terror, has a reward of 10 million. OZW.com. Ha ha ha, this guy is afraid of death. Boy, go and clean the other 2 ships later. Yuluk also said directly. Yep, got it. Yetong responded and continued to clean up. It took a full half an hour to finally clean up the ship. Okay, the work is over. Well, you luck, enough bounty. Trash, here I am. After a shave, Nightai instantly disappeared in front of Erlock. Little ones. Boom. Before Yuluk continued to give orders, he had fallen to the ground, life and death unknown. Not only him, but Donardo on one side also fell to the ground. For a while, let alone the other pirates rushing forward, they probably wouldn't even dare to move. You know, they are not a powerful existence. Some even came from poor people. But not every pirate wears it, all with red hair, Luffy, and their high quality. More are those who are forced to do nothing, or are dark in their hearts. You guys, help me look at him. If you have a rope, tie them for me by the way. I still have things. As Nightai said, he also left the boat and came to Donardo's boat. Because the distance is so close, the pirates of the Donardo pirate group can see clearly. This guy killed the two captains in one move. Faced with such a monster, they dare not make a move at all. In another half an hour, the pirate ship here was also cleaned up. The remaining Gulaton pirates also couldn't escape this fate, and was cleaned by Nightai. Chapter 42, only 3 were caught. Amount %. At this time, Tina and the others finally came over. Originally, Yetong found out earlier and came out first. And Tina and the others went to clean up the bandits before. So when I came over, the battle was over here. These 3, Gulaton, Donardo, Erlock. All are tens of millions of big pirates. Tina admires. Tina also said a little excitedly. Well, do you have Zifa's phone worm? Yetong sat on the clean ground and said slowly. Tina has it. I will call the teacher now. As Tina said, she quickly started calling. North Road, North Road, North Road, North Road. Hey, Tina, what's the matter? Zifa's voice came out slowly. Seeing that it was Tina's call, Zifa was also a little cautious. After all, this girl is by the troublesome kid now. Zifa General, I caught Gulaton, Donardo, and Erlock, all of which are rewards of tens of millions. 3 missions, don't forget to give me my reward. I don't want the bounty. I'm in Pildax, send it to me quickly. Yetong also said directly. What? Zifa, who was training new recruits, all the sticks in his hands fell to the ground. Although these 3 guys are not strong, they are notorious thieves in Zihai. Moreover, how long has Yetong been out? It is estimated that it will only take a few days to arrive at the West Sea, right? How did such a thing happen? Hey, don't pretend to be a fool, my reward, must not be less. Seeing that there was no sound there, Yetong said quickly. OZW.com. Just kidding, the 3 pieces of at the general level are equally important. I see, I will arrange someone to come over immediately. Here we'll arrange for the speed ship to come over. How many people have you captured? Zifa also said again. The 3 people on the pirate ship are all dead. There are only 3 captains left. After Yetong finished speaking, she also hung up the phone. After hearing Yetong's words, the shivering pirates who had been hiding in one corner were even more heartbroken. In other words, they don't even have the qualifications to go to prison and will be executed soon. Well, take them to the island first. By the way, Tina, you go buy some books. After Yetong finished speaking, she also left with a moon step. I just picked up a lot of and I have to go back and take a look. After all, the things on board the tens of millions of pirate ships should not be too weak. Although it was terrified, the pirates did not dare to resist in the face of absolute power. Soon, with the assistance of the navy, these pirates were also sent to the island. On the square of the kingdom of Pildas, more than 100 pirates stood tremblingly there. Tina, please record their names and their identity before being a pirate. After Yetong finished speaking, she ran to the side to check the trash. Ding! Pick up the core discarded by Gulatun, and get a speed of 60. Ding! Pick up the scabbard discarded by Ulik and get swordsmanship 1. Soon, Yetong sorted out all the things she had obtained. Bailey, basic attributes, and some spear and swordsmanship. The pickup value also gained more than 3,000 points. Colonel Nightai, here Tina has all sorted out. At this moment, Tina also came over. Chapter 43, Judgment. Seeing the book Tina handed over, Yetong also took it. Thanks Tina, it's nice to have you there. After Yetong said a word, she also started to read the above information. Tina on one side was blushing. Could it be that? Tina blushed even more at the thought of this. But thinking of what Jun had said to her, Tina was a bit tangled again. Yetong didn't know, but Tina thought so much about her own words. But seriously looking at the information in hand. After reading it, Yetong sighed slightly. Sure enough, most of these people were civilians or even poor. The reason why they joined the pirates is also very simple. They can eat on the boat without being bullied. Call. After Yetong took a deep breath, he also walked to the middle of the square. Okay, now we begin to pronounce your crimes. Join the pirates, burn and looting everywhere. You are now sentenced to life imprisonment in the kingdom of Pildax for your contribution here. If you succeed in the assessment, you can become a citizen of Pildax and have your own new identity. Yetong also said directly. After hearing what Nightai said, Tina was stunned, the pirates were stunned, and Cockagello was stunned. Don't you be afraid of riots if you keep the pirates here? Moreover, the navy does not have too much power to stay here to protect the civilians here. If you have objections, stand up and I will send you to prison. Yetong was also a little embarrassed to see no one talking. So I said again. Why is it different from what they expected? Shouldn't they shout Sheng Ming at this time? We are willing to serve here, but this country can really accept us. At this moment, a pirate asked with some doubts. OZW.com. Although puzzled, he did not stand up either. Because, in times of despair, as long as there is any little hope, they don't want to give up. King Cockagello, it's your turn to speak here. I'm helping you, do what I want. When passing by Cockagello, Nightai also said quietly. Everyone, you may have seen me many times. I also have an impression of some of you. This king can promise you here, as long as you stay on your side, I will do what Colonel Nightai said. Cockagello also said directly. He didn't know what Nightai was thinking, so he wouldn't say anything more. He just said a few words and retreated. He is a smart and kind king who knows who is in charge. Okay, now you are the service personnel here. In 10 years, to make this place stronger, I will give you status. Able to live upright. Yetong said again. We are willing. At this time, a pirate finally stood up. Yes, we are willing. Soon, all the pirates stood up and said excitedly. They don't want to work, nor are they lazy. But in my own country, all kinds of heavy taxes cannot be paid. Some countries even pay taxes for eating and walking. In desperation, he became a pirate. But their faults and pity cannot be offset. Therefore, at this time, Yetong will not let them go for no reason. If you make a mistake, you have to pay a certain price. Chapter 44, Hope you don't become rubbish. Tina, you help the people here and arrange their work. King Cockagello, let's talk. After Yetong finished speaking, he also walked to the palace with Cockagello. Yetong, I know you are kind. But let me accept a group of pirates. If such a thing is known by other countries, it will definitely come to me under the banner of trouble. Even, it will be said that we are a country of pirates. Really, the world government will definitely clean up us. Cockagello also said with some worry. I know the king's concerns, but have you ever thought about it? If they have an identity with you, they will really become citizens of Pildax. Does it mean anything to Pildax? Yetong said again. Can they be our army and escort, and have a strong labor force? Cockagello was not a stupid person, and when he heard this, he suddenly woke up. Yes, so that Pildax can not only have enough labor, but also enough force. At least I won't be bullied by third-rate pirates at random. Yetong said again. Hearing this, Cockagello was stunned. If this happens here, their country can also live a good life. I will. Cockagello also nodded, indicating that he had confirmed the matter. King Cockagello, I hope you don't turn into someday and need me to clean it up. There must be laws and taxes. But I don't want you to become those garbage countries and garbage kings. Yetong looked cold and slowly said. After hearing what Nitai said, the desire that Cockagello had just ignited disappeared instantly. You know, the first thought after hearing that the country is strong is actually money. OZW.com. Being strong means they will be rich, and being rich is wealth. As a king, he can finally be like other kings. But then, Yetong poured cold water on him. I remember, I will definitely make Pildax stronger. Cockagello also said seriously. After getting the promise, Yetong also stood up and left directly. Although I don't know the gold content of this promise, at least if I need to clean it up later, my heart will not soften. After walking out of the palace, Tina also came to Yetong. Tina doesn't understand. Why does Colonel Yetong want to keep them? They are all sins. Tina said with some confusion. Before everyone, Tina didn't say anything. But now there were only two of them here, and she also expressed the doubt in her heart. Sin. What is sin? Do you think Tianlongren are sacred? Yetong said without thinking. After hearing what Nitai said, Tina stopped talking. Because she doesn't have a good impression of Tianlongren. But her identity is the Navy, which can't be said. Tina knows. After Tina finished speaking, she stopped asking. The original absolute justice is now shaken. Just because of what Yetong said just now, and what she is doing now. Tina probably didn't know that one day she would help the Sea clan arrange work. Chapter 45, Zifa fled. 5 days later. I don't know how many times the streets have been swept by Nitai, they are very clean. Now the people in Pildax are used to such a clean ground. Even them were changed by Nitai. So that later, Yetong wanted to pick up the trash and had to go to someone's house to grab it. On this day, several warships arrived at Pildax Island. Nitai, don't sweep the floor here, the teacher is here. Hurry up and go with Tina. Tina searched the entire town, and finally found Nitai who was cleaning in a restaurant. Wait, this table of guests is finished, I will clear it and go. Yetong said with a smile too. What Zifa, wait until I sort out the garbage. A few minutes later, the people dining here quickly finished eating and left. After all, a few people looked awkward when they were eating. Wow! After Yetong cleaned the sanitation here, he also left here. When he came to the shore, Zifa carried 3 big bags alone and waited there. Good boy, you should know that I'm here, did you go to do sanitation again? Zifa also joked. Yes. Give me the garbage first, and why are you out too? After Yetong took the garbage, he said with some confusion. After all, he is now mainly responsible for training and guarding Malin Vander. What are you doing in Zihai? Amount. Look, this is the youngest colonel in our navy. 14 years old this year, how about you? Now, Colonel Nitai can catch the pirates alone, and they are all pirates. Zifa suddenly changed his conversation and said to the navy on the warship behind him. OZW.com. Taking a closer look, Zifa, this guy, actually moved to the training camp. Amount %. Master Zifa, General, use me as a textbook, do you have to give me some benefit? Yetong said thiefly. Okay, let's go back. After Zifa finished speaking, he walked back to the warship for a month and then left quickly. Seeing Zifa run away, Yetong felt a little helpless. Don't you just want some rubbish, so afraid of what you do? Tina, go to confirm the supplies, and then prepare to go to sea. Yetong thought for a while, and turned to Tina. Tina will go now. Tina happily went to prepare something. Tina, who was originally a navigator, has now directly become the ship's mate. She is doing all things big and small. Yetong is still a cleaning soldier. Taking advantage of the fact that there was nothing to do with him here, Yetong returned to the warship and began to check the brought by Zifa. Ding, I picked up the napkin 3 that Carp discarded, and gained power 150. The pickup value is 50. Ding, I picked up the discarded newspaper 3 discarded by the crane and gained 150 mental power. The pickup value is 50. Ding, I found. Soon, Nightai also cleaned up all the garbage. There are a total of 17 garbage above the rank of generals. It seems that there are not many generals in Malin Fanduo during this time. As for the empty garbage, there is no. It seems that next time, I have to talk to Zifa well. This time, forget it. After tidying up the things he had obtained, Nightai also returned to lying in the cabin. It's time to take a break after overexerting the brain recently. Chapter 46, The Source of Life effect is beginning to show. Back to lie down in the cabin, Nightai also called out his own panel. Host, Nightai. Age, 14. Pickup value, 166,000. Strength, 2,880. Speed, 2,210. Defense, 2,280. Agility, 2,490. Spirit, 2,650. Normal human basic attributes 50. Abilities, Armed color domineering medium to high level, domineering color elementary level, spear LV5, sword LV7, digestion 520. Skills, double knife flow water wheel horizontal cut, single knife flow bird, shave, moon step. Props, the big knife falls in the rain, the big knife sounds sharp, a box of canned herring, the king's underwear, the source of life and. Wealth, 40.38 million Baileys. Title, A beginner in picking up tatters has been worn, basic attributes plus 100, charm value plus 120. Intermediate portable space, 1000 cubic meters. Thousands of shopping malls. It's not right. Seeing his soaring basic attributes, Nightai was a little stunned. According to the trash picked up here, I didn't get so many basic attributes at all. Actually, he has added 700 or 800 basic attributes than before he went to sea. The most important thing is that all that has been increased here has been improved. For a time, Yetong was also completely drowsy. He can be sure that nothing like picking up crit has happened this time. Moreover, I cleaned one side in memory again, and the calculated value was still a few hundred points less. Could it be? At this time, Nightai also looked at the page again. Digestion has also improved, reaching 520. A full improvement of 200 points. This is not my memory mistake. Except at Reikilu, I didn't find anything about digestion. Sure enough, is that you? OZW.com. While Yetong spoke, he took out a bunch of green things, the source of life. This is the only thing I don't know how to use, and there is no special change after use. Now it seems that this gradually improved basic attribute is the biggest role of this source of life. Thinking of this, Yetong once again lost a piece of the source of life in his mouth without hesitation. Sleep after. Once you have figured out the reason, there is no need to tangle. 5 days later. Tina, haven't we reached the next island yet? On the deck, Yetong said with a bit of love. Captain Yetong, there are still 2 days left. Tina also said helplessly. It was okay when he first went to sea. Yetong cleaned the warship every day and then practiced swords on the deck. It was the 3rd day. Nitai found some small things, unable to obtain the pickup value and reward, and instantly went down. Now on the 5th day, this warship can no longer provide anything for Nitai. However, he still cleaned it again. But the mood can't help being very low. 2 days. It's okay for a pirate to come and play with me. Yetong raised the village rein in his hand and said irritably. In this way, the day passed again. The next day, a dark figure appeared in front of the warship. Captain Nitai, Tina sees a boat ahead. When Yetong was wiping the floor, Tina also ran to tell Yetong. Vessel. Ha ha ha, finally here, finally here. There was almost fire in Yetong's eyes. Yetong, it's terrible. Tina is a little scared. Tina also said with emotion when she saw Nitai rushed out. Chapter 47, Ghost Ship, Teased by Brook. Under the moon step, Yetong also came to the ship in front. Isn't this a ghost ship? Looking at the tattered ship, Yetong's eyes were also stunned. You know, a lot of weird things may happen on the ghost ship. And moreover, there is a lot of here. Thinking of this, Nitai also directly took out his own tools and started functional work. As time passed, Nitai also cleared the deck. Looking at the 2 large bags of trash behind him, Yetong's expectations became even greater. At this moment, a blue phantom slowly drifted over and appeared behind Yetong. Ghost. Yetong turned around and saw the ghost floating behind him. He, I am going to kill you. The ghost also raised his hand, and then prepared to pounce on Yetong. Wait, this ship is too dirty, I'll clean it first. As Yetong said, she also started to clean up. Hey, what are you doing? I'm a ghost ship, why are you waxing me? Also, I'm a ghost, why are you not afraid? The ghost was stunned and said strangely. I know, but I like to clean up the trash. As Yetong said, he ignored the ghost at all. From the beginning, I was familiar with this ship, and when I saw the ghost, Nitai was sure. This is Brook's ship. It's just a ship that was supposed to be in the New World. Why did it come to the West Sea again? Of course, these are not important. The important thing is that there is too much garbage on this. After more than 2 hours, Nitai finally cleared the pirate ship. OZW.com. And Tina and the others still didn't dare to come up. After all, this is a ghost ship. And that green shadow, that's a ghost. Now that you are done cleaning, I will kill you. The soul appeared in front of Yetong again, and said quietly. Oh, you didn't even take the knife, how could you kill me? Yetong said, and was about to leave. Hey, don't I want face? I'm a ghost. The ghost said angrily. In the West Sea, whether you encounter navy, pirates, or merchant ships. As long as I saw him, I was so frightened. However, this guy actually ignored himself. Bounty 32 million, musician, Brook, acting captain of the Rumba pirate ship. Forget it, if someone has died once, I won't catch you. Nitai, who knew Brook's identity, was not afraid of him at all. This guy is just a funny comparison. Moreover, he was a partner of his little brother Lu Fei from now on, so he stopped arresting him. By the way, your body just blocked me from cleaning up the garbage. I threw it to the warehouse. After Yetong finished speaking, she left directly on the moon step. Captain Yetong, are you back? Tina also asked with some worry as she watched Yetong come back. Well, I'm happy physically and mentally, I'm going to rest. After a lot of cleaning up, the depressed mood just disappeared. As for Tina, she continued to sail forward. After Brook returned to his body, he followed with some doubts. How could this young navvy know himself? And Tina was a little worried. Are they cursed by the ghost ship? Chapter 48, What does not make garbage is waste. In the evening, they finally reached the second island. This place belongs to the forces of the Don Quixote family in the Dark World. In other words, this is the island controlled by Ming Ji. Although Brother Ming is still very young, the snot monster around him is not a small character. However, there should be a lot of things that can be cleaned, right? Moreover, if you are lucky enough to meet a cotter, it is not bad. However, this time we must first deal with Brooke. This guy has been following behind, still a bit bad. Captain Nightai, are you going to the ghost ship? Tina is going too. Tina also stood up and said when she saw Yetong preparing to go to the ghost ship. Although she was still a little scared, Tina wanted to overcome her fear. It is good. As Yetong said, he picked up Tina and flew over. Brooke, what are you doing with me? After landing on the ghost ship, Yetong also said directly. Because there is only Brooke here, there is no new rubbish. For such waste that will not produce garbage, Yetong has no idea of taking it back. This lady, let me. Boom. Before Brooke finished speaking, he was kicked out by Nightai. This guy is a fruitful person. Don't be afraid. Seeing that Tina was still a little scared, Yetong said quickly. Tina is not afraid. Tina is brave. Tina said directly when she heard about the power of the fruit. He 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 he. Colonel Nightai, how did your excellency know about me? As Brooke said, he also slowly drew out his long sword and walked over slowly. Want to fight me? OZW.com. I also want to see how strong the Baron Pirates is. And your swordsmanship. As Yetong said, she also pulled out her own rein. Balloons dance Huang Chuan song. Brooke raised his sword instantly, and a strange feeling spread out instantly. Tina on one side was already a little groggy. The boat that was not leaning on one side was about to fall. Is this a soul attack? But now your soul strength is not enough. Shave. Yetong instantly attacked, knocking the abduction sword in Brooke's hand into the air. The high-strength mental power cannot be affected by Brooke now. Brooke, you still have a crew member alive. Yetong put away her rein, and said lightly. What? Brooke walked to Yetong's side in an instant, and said with some surprise. You know, the entire Baron Pirates regiment was wiped out. As the acting captain, he knew best that no one survived. Moreover, he has buried them all. Bab is your crew member, right? Yetong said again. Bab, you know Bab. Under. Go to the new world and wait. Someone will tell you Bubu's message, stop following me, you are so useless. Yetong said disgustedly. This guy followed him because he knew his identity. Just find something to distract him, such as a partner. You know, now the Baron Pirates are the only ones left with him and Babu. Nightai left, but Brooke was stunned. Chapter 49, I just sweep the floor. Captain Nightai, this is Darabi Snow Island. There are basically no pirates around, and they belong to the Don Quixote family. Now Don Quixote da Flamingo is offering a reward of 56 million. There is also the Torre Boar army, a cotter of the Don Quixote family, codenamed Mai Hua, and the reward price is 38 million. Diamante, the cotter of the Don Quixote family, is codenamed Cube, offering a reward of 36 million. Tina held a thick pile of materials and read it in front of Yetong. Well, I know it all. However, they should not be here. Okay, let's get to the island first. Stay for a few days, if someone from them comes over. Following their conversation, the warship also docked. The arrangement is still the same as before, the purchase, the rest, and the relaxation. But Yetong took the broom and went to sweep the street. 2 days later. All the people in Derby Snow also knew about this strange group of navies. Only the colonel led the team, and there was only one warship. Apart from purchasing and eating and drinking, nothing else was done at all, unconventional. What impressed them most was their colonel who collected garbage. 5 days later, Yetong sat on the boat alone, grinning and sorting out the trash. This island really needs to be richer, even more garbage. It seems that I will look for those stronger islands in the future. As for the isolated island, there is no interest anymore. What do you say Colonel Nitai is doing? He has been staring at the garbage and laughing all morning. Don't talk nonsense, this seems to be a special practice of Colonel Nitai. Okay, don't discuss it. What to do and what to do? Tina also walked up and said directly. Yes, Major Tina. OZW.com. After hearing Tina's words, the other navy also went to do their own things one by one. After sorting out the garbage, he actually gained more than 2,000 pickup points. Seeing that I have more than 100,000 pickup points, I want to buy what I want soon. After finishing the order, Yetong went to sweep the garbage again. 1 week passed, and a new ship arrived in the harbor early this morning. Master Coralson, there is a navy here. Tross of the Hearts also pointed to the warship on one side and said directly. Corazon waved his hand and landed directly on the shore. After entering a large courtyard in the island, everyone stopped. Because they saw a man wearing a cloak of justice, and didn't know what he was doing inside. Hey, who are you? Tross also stood directly in front, and asked with some worry. From Don Quixote family. Corazon? People of the Red Army, you are free, I will finish cleaning up a little bit. Yetong raised her head and said indifferently. Ah. The crows slowly flew past. Is this guy a weird thing? The navy ran to the pirate's chassis and was still sweeping the floor. After Corazon slowed down, he also walked directly to the door and directly took out the key to open the door. Call out. I've been waiting for you to come back. Yetong appeared in front of the door instantly and said slowly. Suddenly. Kaka. Everyone drew their long knives and set up long spears. Don't be nervous, I just want to go in and sweep the floor. As Yetong said, he also entered directly. Chapter 50, Overlord Color intimidates everyone to make rubbish. Seeing Yetong's movements, a group of people were once again confused. What is it? A mount. Corazon was a little puzzled, could it be said that this was arranged by the Warring States period? But this behavior is a bit too eye-catching, right? Master Corazon, how about we give him? Before Tross finished speaking, Corazon raised his hand and shook his head. Then walked to the sofa that had been cleared and sat down. The others stood there very uncomfortably, not knowing what to do. After all, there is a navy colonel here, and he is a weird guy. For half an hour, Nitai cleaned up and down. Okay, the cleaning is over. The Don Quixote family, Corazon, the highest cadre of the Red Peach Army, and more than 30 other pirates. I will come back tomorrow. If you don't have enough here, I will do it for you. Remember. After Yetong finished speaking, his domineering look broke out instantly. A wave of powerful mental power unfolded instantly. Boom boom. Some younger brothers fell straight down. Only Corazon and his 3 deputies were left, looking at Yetong with a cold sweat. After doing this, Yetong also left. He must hurry up to sort out the garbage he just got. Master Corazon, this. Tross wiped the cold sweat off his head and said tremblingly. Nothing. Corazon raised the paper in his hand, with 2 words written on it. But, he just said he will come back tomorrow. We % 6. Do as he says. Without waiting for Tross to finish asking, Corazon also raised the paper in his hand again. Late at night. I knew it, you would come to me. OZW.com. Am I calling you Rinsant, or Khorasan? By the way, you can talk, I know you can talk. If you are worried, you can unfold your silent fruit ability. Yetong also said directly. In an instant, a light mask enveloped the two of them. Are you arranged by Master Warring States? Khorasan said slowly. Warring States General. No, I just dropped by here to have fun. I didn't expect to meet you. Yetong looked at the panel in front of her eyes, and said indifferently. You are looking for me, what's the matter? Khorasan asked again. Moreover, his hand was placed on the pistol at his waist. After all, who knows if this guy was bought by Brother Ming? I'm fine looking for you, I just want to clean up the trash. You still have some use. You should be able to make rubbish, much better than the troublesome guy Brook. Yetong said his reason. Make garbage. The doubts in Khorasan's heart became even worse. How can there be such a weird person? Could it be that this guy is really Ming's undercover? He knows that Doflamingo is undercover in the navy. Boom! In the next moment, Yetong slowly withdrew his spirit. And the pistol in Khorasan's hand was also directly shot out. Khorasan, if I were from Brother Ming, you would no longer chat with me here. Okay, go back and make with peace of mind. After Yetong finished speaking, he also left directly. Those intrigues between them are not interested in Nitai. These things, how can it be fun to pick up trash? Chapter 51, In Order to Pick Up Rubbish, by Zwanyan. After seeing Yetong leave, Khorasan was a little dizzy. This navy should not be a member of the Warring States period. But how does he know the affairs between himself and the Warring States period? North Road and. Khorasan also directly took out the phone worm and called the Warring States period. Colonel Nitai. Tina. Boom. Without waiting for Tina to say anything, Nitai went directly into her cabin and closed the door. Tina stood outside the door somewhat disappointed, and then left. System, open the mall. Yetong opened the mall without hesitation. Random Devil Fruit, 200,000 pickup value. Domineering Enhancement Card, 100,000 pickup value. Right Round Eyes, 200,000 pickup value. Bayman Dungia, 300,000 pickup value. Tegu Village Rain, 300,000 pickup value. Now his pickup value has exceeded 200,000. I took a look at the contents, and now I can buy enhanced cards, random devil fruits, and writing round eyes. If you buy a domineering enhanced card, you can buy two. There can only be one other. But now, I don't have much need for domineering. And picking up the garbage of the strong, the domineering explosion rate is not low. As for the devil fruit, he still has one in his hand. Right round eyes. You know, this thing is matched with the domineering look, but not too strong. Moreover, there are various pupil techniques for promotion. There are also shortcomings, that is, this thing affects eyesight, and it cannot be picked up normally in this world. Can only be purchased in the mall. But again, I can look for better. OZW.com. It doesn't matter, the system buys the writing wheel eyes. Yetong also directly chose to buy Shaolunyan. A good pair of eyes is the key to better cleaning. Ding! Consume 200,000 pickup points to get a writing wheel eye. As the system's prompt sounded, a tingling sensation rushed to his pupils. After a few minutes, this feeling also disappeared. Yetong picked up the mirror. Right round eyes. Right round eyes are activated instantly. A pair of red pupils with a guyu appeared in the mirror. Yes, eyesight has improved. It won't affect eyesight if you don't have a kaleidoscope, use it first. After checking the ability of writing round eyes, Yetong also said slowly. Right round eyes, double vision, insight, be able to see through the opponent's attack mode, simulation learning ability is greatly improved, illusion breaks God aggressive illusion, impact mental power. Looking at the more than a dozen points on the panel, Nightai was also full of energy for a while. You can stay on this island for another 2 days, and you can leave when Karazhan and the others have collected all the trash. Thinking of this, Yetong fell asleep peacefully. The next day, the dawn began to appear. Tina, why are you on the deck so early? The sea is very humid, go back to the cabin. Or go to the island to play, I will be reimbursed. Just after leaving the cabin, Nightai saw Tina standing alone on the deck, and said directly. Nightai, is Tina hated by you? Tina said in a choked voice. What? Without me? That, Tina is very good. Beautiful, capable, and strong. I'm going to pick up trash. After Yetong finished speaking, he left with a moon step. Seeing Yetong's embarrassed appearance, Tina also broke into a smile. This guy is really stupid. Chapter 52, To be unemployed. Why didn't Nightai know what Tina meant? However, I'm only 14 years old now, so don't worry. Soon, Nightai came to the yard where Karazhan and the others were. These guys, be lazy. Yetong looked at the courtyard that was the same as yesterday, and felt a little upset. I'm coming. Yetong also shouted loudly. Although I am a little second, this is the fastest way to tell them that I am here. The pirates who were still sleeping, a Jiling got up from wearing them. Put it on quickly and come out with the weapon. This is the navy, who knows what he came in for. Wow! A few minutes later, a group of people stood in front of him. I'm not here to review you. Why are you standing so neatly? Looking at the group of pirates who, like military training students, quickly assembled when they heard the alert bell, Yetong wanted to laugh a little. What do you want to do? Fight as long as you want, don't be pretentious. Tross said directly. There is no reward for hitting you. Except for the Karazhan bounty, which is over 10 million, you guys, you can only break 1,000 together. Do not hit. Where is the garbage I want? Yetong also said directly. Trash, ha 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 ha. In the eyes of your navy, are we rubbish? Look at this Darabi snow island for yourself, if it weren't for our Red Army. Tross was also furious. Indeed, some things that Brother Ming is doing, at least on the surface, still have a good side. At least some protected islands, like Darabi Snow Island, seem to have good days. As for True's misunderstanding, Nightai had no intention of explaining it. I'll give you half an hour to get trash everywhere. OZW.com. I will leave after cleaning. Yetong hugged her own village Rain, and jumped up to Jiangyan, sitting there calmly. Basically, there is no way of fighting. A group of pirates was stunned. This guy snapped. At this moment, a cardboard fell downstairs. Do as he says. There are 5 characters on it. After receiving Karazhan's order, the pirates also began to make garbage. Adding to the fact that Night Pupil had been here last year, they secretly prepared a lot of rubbish. Soon, there was a lot of garbage in the yard. As for the interior, it was also made all over. While doing it, the pirates were still worried. This colonel is not looking for a chance to get rid of them, right? Obviously, their worries are over. After Yetong cleared the garbage, he left a sentence and left directly. I will come tomorrow. This sentence made the pirates who were relieved to be even more panicked. Master Karazhan, let's get out of here. This navy is too weird. Tross said directly. No, wait. Karazhan also came up with a brand again. Here, there is still something to leave. After seeing Karazhan's sign, Tross said nothing, silently opened a bag of snacks, and went to make garbage. These pirates would never have thought that making garbage is such a painful thing. At this time, Yetong was also a little helpless. Because of my too enthusiastic help recently, everyone in the town has not thrown out the trash. After walking around the town, No way, will you lose your job. Chapter 53, The Pain of Making Garbage. In desperation, Yetong can only look forward to the of the Red Peach Army tomorrow. At least, the quality of their garbage is higher than those of civilians. Yetong, will you go to work soon? Seeing Yetong come back, Tina also asked directly. No, the work is over today. Tina, call all the navies and practice swords with me. After Yetong finished speaking, she also came to the beach. Soon, more than 40 navies all carried sabers. Headed by Tina, stood opposite Yetong. I am armed, so you don't have to be afraid of hurting me. Come on. After Yetong finished speaking, she also pulled out the rain and Ling Xiang. As for the village rain, forget it. It is estimated that all their knives were cut off in a few strokes. Tina is ready. Sergeant Doro, Sergeant Bamor, with 10 people in charge. Boom boom. Before Tina finished speaking, Yetong rushed up. Countless navies have been knocked down before they recovered. When fighting, the enemy won't give you time to prepare. Double blade flow Keng Ji Yin. As Yetong said, the double knives in his hand also swung instantly. Even with the backs of swords, they knocked down all the navy here. Even Tina had only received 2 knives and was hit. Remember, the enemy can't use the sword back. Train here when you have time, I'm going to rest. As Yetong said, she also left. After hearing what Nitai said, Tina and the others also started training. As for Nitai, he came to the mast of the warship and waited. If there is a corvette, it should be coming in 2 days, right? Hey, people who come here can definitely create more powerful garbage. OZW.com. With that said, Yetong also began to cultivate his own vision. Although it can be obtained by picking up value, picking up garbage. But at the same time of cultivating, there is not only a slight improvement, but also a better control of the power. 3 days later. Master Khorasan, we don't want to make garbage anymore. The process of making is really painful. I would rather fight the navy upright. Tross said directly. Master Khorasan, we. The pirates all complained. When they were fighting around, burning, killing, looting, eating and drinking at will, and discarding garbage. It doesn't feel much. But when this kind of thing became a task, they discovered that making garbage would be such a painful thing. Is that the purpose of the colonel? Hearing the cry of the subordinates in front of him, Khorasan couldn't help but think. If Yetong knew about it, he would definitely cry out injustice. He doesn't hate trash. If this continues, can you really lose your job? You set off first, I am waiting here. Khorasan raised the sign. Master Khorasan. Command. Without waiting for what Tross said, Khorasan also picked up the sign again. I see, Master Khorasan. As Tross said, he also left here directly. And Nitai also arrived as scheduled. Nitai, standing on the roof, didn't care about the pirates who left here. The Red Army, it seems that the reviews are not bad. If it is a gangster, Yetong would not do such a thing as a pirate. After all, he is also a navy. Chapter 54, Come to the Warring States period and fight the Burning Mountain. If you want them to go, someone is coming, right? Looking at Khorasan walking out, Nitai also said slowly. Your identity is very suspicious, don't you be afraid that I will let you go as a pirate and tell the above. After opening the Silent Realm, Khorasan also said directly. My identity. I can be an upright Navy colonel, regardless of birth or experience. It's all very transparent. By the way, will the Warring States Congress come here this time? This is what Yetong is most interested in. You? I don't know, maybe. Khorasan couldn't say anything. After all, how do weird guys communicate? In the afternoon, 3 cruisers appeared in the port. One person landed, slowly entered the town, and then reached the courtyard. "Yo, Uncle Waring states." Seeing the visitor, Yetong also jumped off the roof. Nitai. The garbage is on the boat, go by yourself." The Waring states also said directly. "Understood." Nitai directly added domineering and rushed towards the corvette docked in the harbor. "Khorasan, are you sure you haven't revealed anything here?" Waring states also said with some doubts. "Teacher, he said it directly here." Khorasan also began to talk to the Waring states. Moreover, the strange behavior of Nitai here is also said. At this time, Yetong also came to the corvette. "Ha ha ha, Major General Hua Shaishan, and Major General Stolberg. I'm Nitai, it's been a long time since I saw you." Seeing two acquaintances, Yetong also rushed to say hello. OZW.com. These two guys are treacherous. When in Malanvander, they only picked up trash once or twice. Later, they actually ran out to perform the task. Therefore, there should still be many benefits to them. Yetong, are you here too? I heard that you caught 3 pirates with tens of millions of dollars. You are very capable. Hua Shaishan also said heartily. Yes, senior, I will work first. After a while, I will look for you again. As Yetong said, he also brought out something that made both of them helpless. Later, Yetong also began to clean up the garbage. Worthy of being a Waring states, know what I want. Soon, after cleaning up the rubbish, Yetong also walked to Hua Shaishan and them. Senior, let's fight. As Yetong said, she also pulled out her own village rein. You kid, it's still the same. Let's go ashore. Hua Shaishan also took his own sword, stepped directly on the moon step, and went ashore. As for Stolberg, he was helpless, but he also went up. Being pestered by Nitai to throw out the trash, but it's not fun. Although I haven't seen you for half a year, I feel that your strength has improved a lot, Colonel Nitai. Huo Xiao Shan pulled out his long knife and spit out a smoke ring. Senior joked, please. One sword flow, many cuts. With the start of the shave, Yetong also shot out. The village rein in his hand has also turned into a sword flower, constantly waving. Yes, strength and swordsmanship have been greatly improved. It's really scary. Every time I fight with you, I can feel your obvious improvement. Monster. Huo Xiao Shan was struggling with the long knife in his hand at this time. The last time they fought, they could still suppress Nitai. Now, I felt the difficulty at the beginning. Chapter 55, Battle, Treat, Trash. Black Knife Huanyu. After Hua Shaishan blocked Yetong's attack, it also retreated quickly. In an instant, the jade in his hand also turned into a dark color, and a powerful slash was cut out in an instant. Damn it! Use this again! Single pole flow Yan Xian instantly opened his own riding wheel, and directly saw the direction of Huanyu's attack. At the same time, he directly staggered the slash, and then raided up. Boom! The two knives collided in an instant, and a wave of U-bow instantly dispersed. Your eyes, is this your new ability? Hurry up and accumulate merits, or your kid will surpass me. Ha 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 ha, Zhenjian. After Hua Shaishan finished speaking, the jade in his hand also began to shake. Immediately, it affected the village rein in Yetong's hands. Kaka. Boom. Afterwards, the jade in Hua Shaishan's hands was shattered. However, correspondingly, Nitai was also forced back. Such a shock is not something ordinary people can bear. Moreover, the armed Vyankui knife was directly broken, let alone Yetong's hand. Really, your fighting style is indeed a bit useless. As Yetong said, he also walked to the front of Hua Shaishan and picked up the broken knife on the ground. Ha ha ha, your kid is fighting with me for this. Really, I always don't like you kid. Huo Xiao Shan took a breath and said again. Ding, picked up the broken sword that Hua Shaishan discarded and got swordsmanship too. With the prompt sound of the system, Nitai also cleaned up all the broken knives on the ground. Go, I will invite you to dinner. Yetong said with a smile too. Oh, Yetong, aren't you going to fight with me? Stolberg on one side also came over and said slowly. No, I won't break my sword even if I fight with you. OZW.com. Yetong said disgustedly. The reason why he fights with Hua Shaishan is because this guy loses a knife every time he fights. The purpose is to pick up some rubbish. Disgusted again. Stolberg also said helplessly. Afterwards, the three also came to the town. Captain Nitai, what do you do to the people here? Looking at the extremely tidy streets, Hua Shaishan also joked. Let alone rubbish, even the ground has been dragged clean. No. Let's go, drink. After hearing Nitai's words, Stolberry's eyes also shone. You know, he rarely drinks alcohol. But... wow, ha 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 ha, this wine is really good. Ha 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 ha. 2 hours later, Stolberg's laughter was also heard in the bar. This guy usually looks very serious, but he can't stop it when he gets into alcohol. However, this is what Nitai wants. The power of this guy is extraordinary. What kind of plates, wine bottles, etc., are everywhere. However, it was quickly cleared by Nitai. At night, Yetong returned to the warship with satisfaction. Warring States General, how come you have time to come to my boat? Yetong said with a smile too. Let's talk. I will give you a satisfactory reward. The Warring States also slowly said. Warring States General, you want to ask Khorasan, right? Yetong probably also knew the purpose of the Warring States period. Chapter 56, The Meaning of Cleaning. But I didn't tell anyone about this. Even if it's the headquarters, I know it. Warring States said directly. Khorasan contacted him individually each time, and the Warring States did not mention to anyone about Khorasan's identity. This is my ability to understand the information of people picked up by me. And after I picked up Khorasan's garbage, I also got this information. Yetong directly threw the pot out. This is your mysterious ability. Do you want to join? Stop, I don't have that interest. But if you want to know any information, you can find the trash from those big people and give it to me. I still have to pay for garbage. The corners of Yetong's mouth rose slightly and said slowly. This reason, when he met you, Khorasan, he thought about it. As long as the Warring States period comes to find himself, then he will have another good channel to harvest garbage. You kid, forget it. I'm going back. I hope you can shoulder the justice behind you. After the Warring States period finished speaking, he also left here. Seeing the Warring States leave, Yetong also gave an order to go to sea. 4 days later, Yetong looked at the navy training on the deck, and was also sipping juice comfortably. Nitai, we come out, the task is to snipe the pirate. But we have always been like this, isn't the efficiency too low? Tina is a little confused. Tina walked up to Yetong and said slowly. But in the vast ocean, we can't pursue it. Yetong also said helplessly. But every time we stay on the island is too long. In this case, it will greatly extend the time of our mission. OZW.com. Tina also said slowly. Tina, you have been following me for so long, but still don't understand my intentions. Yetong said with some heartache. What? Tina doesn't know. Seeing Yetong like this, Tina said in a flustered manner. Can our ship be regarded as the cleanest ship in the navy? Yetong did not reply, but said calmly. Not really. Tina thinks this is the cleanest boat. Tina also said seriously. You know, under the influence of Nitai, the navy here has become clean one by one. The whole ship, let alone messy things, is clean and clean every day. Darrow Bisno Island that we passed before, Perdax Island. When I left, was it already clean? Yetong said again. Yes, this is all due to Colonel Nitai, Tina knows. Tina said again. I'll ask you again, if you want Tina to return to that dirty environment, would you like it? As Yetong said, she also drank a sip of juice. Tina, I don't want to. After Tina said something, she was also taken aback. Nitai looked like a habit, but it was actually doing real things. You know, the current Malin Vatican is much cleaner than before. And now the navy on the ship is too. They used to be rough men, but now they all love hygiene. If this goes on for a long time, the world will really be clean. Even if the surface is clean, it will make people feel happy. Chapter 57, Dragon Hunting Pirate Group. Seeing Tina pondering, Yetong didn't know what she understood. However, the flicker finally passed. If you want to prevent yourself from picking up trash, don't blame yourself for forcibly feeding chicken soup. Colonel Nitai, there is a ship ahead. No, it's the fleet. The pirate group is a group of more than 5 pirate ships. At this moment, the watchman also sent a warning. More than 5 ships. It seems that we have encountered a super pirate, there should be tens of millions of big pirates. Listen to my orders, shelling. Nitai also walked to the deck, and then issued a shelling command. I have to say that it's really good to be so pretending. Colonel Nitai, they are not in range yet. Are we sure we want to shelling now? The artillery on one side also ran up and asked suspiciously. Not in range. Then it's in range, let's shell out again. Although Yetong was a little embarrassed, he had long since been invaded by picking up trash and cheating. Roger that. The artillery also left quickly to deliver orders. However, Yetong is a little curious, who is the pirate group in front of him? In Zihai, there is such a pirate group? Now that the Great Route has been opened for so long, shouldn't they go upside down the mountain? Could it be that they are another group of pirates who are not interested in the big secret treasure? Beep. Yetong jumped up instantly and landed on the mast. He took the binoculars in the watchman's hand, and opened the writing wheel eye. This sign, I don't recognize it. After seeing the banner of the main ship, Nitai also said helplessly. I don't know the logo on it. In other words, this pirate group did not appear in the original words. OZW.com. It seems that it is a cannon fodder class existence again. Soon, the ships on both sides could be seen without telescopes. The other party obviously saw their warships too, but it seemed that they had no intention of evading or fleeing. Boom boom and. At this moment, the gunners also began to shell. Captain Yakis, there is only one naval ship on the opposite side, and it has launched shelling at us. At this time, on the pirate ship, a pirate rushed to the captain and reported calmly. A warship. I want to see, which arrogant kid is bombarding me. As Yakis said, he walked slowly to the deck. Call out. A long spear appeared in his hand instantly, and then directly aimed at Yetong and their ship, bursting out. Yab. Double knife flow water wheel cross cut. Yetong rushed to the front of the warship with a shaved head, and directly cut horizontally. Boom. The powerful impact force pushed Nitai back onto the ship again. He, it seems I still underestimate the world's people. Tina, is there any information? Yetong turned and looked at Tina, who was looking for a reward order, and said slowly. Tina found it. This is the dragon hunting pirate group, the leader Yakis is offering a reward of 21 million. The deputy of the ship is offering a reward of 12 million. Sniper Tulam, a reward of 10 million. Tina also said quickly. Sure enough, it is a large-scale pirate group, there are actually 3 strong. But the name of this pirate group is a bit domineering. Hunt the Dragon. I don't know if their strength is as domineering as their name. Chapter 58, A Good Trash Maker. Captain Yakis, what appeared in front was an unseen navy. It looks like it should be a navy colonel. At this time, the dragon hunting pirate group was also sorting out the information about Yetong and the others. But Yetong just went to sea, they didn't know that he was also normal. And before going to sea, he was a cleaning soldier. Who is all right to sort out the information of a cleaner? Colonel. I thought there was a general dispatched. A warship, really arrogant. Just take him and make our dragon hunting pirate team famous. After Yakis finished speaking, he also raised his hand. A chain appeared instantly. Afterwards, it was thrown out at the warship. This, a creation out of thin air. Ha ha ha, this guy, I want it. Yetong's riding wheel also saw Yakis' movements in his eyes. Although I don't know what this fruit is, but this is a good trash maker. In the future, no matter who it is, when I want to say that there is no rubbish. Sorry, I'm ready for you. When he thought of this, Yetong stepped out of the moon step and rushed directly up. As for the chains that flew over, Yetong didn't care. Taking advantage of the trend, I also used this chain to speed up my progress. Boom! Nightai fell on the deck of Yakis. Yo, how are you, Captain Yakis? I'm a Navy Colonel, Grote Nightai. Yetong greeted with a kind smile. Grote Nightai. Since you know who I am, do you come here now, do you want to die? Yakis said, holding a spear again. No, no, I'm not here to fight. I was a cleaner before becoming a Navy Colonel. OZW.com. Fighting or something, where can I clean up the garbage? Yetong said calmly. Damn it, Captain, this guy says we are rubbish. Let me kill him. Baidu drew out his long knife and said slowly. Seeing that Yakis didn't speak, Baidu also rushed up directly. Hey! I really don't want to fight. Shaolunyan Shenzhen domineering. Yetong instantly released her own riding wheel eyes, and then a powerful wave of mental power spread. Boom! Baidu, who offered a reward of tens of millions, fell directly under the impact of this intensity. Overlord looked domineering. Yakis's face became a little serious. This navy is a bit weird. However, the colonel was able to use the Overlord color, and his level was not low. In fact, the Nightai's Overlord color is not enough to stun thousands of large pirates, but it is enough to write the blessing of the eye-breaking spirit. I said, my goal is not to fight, but to clean up the garbage. Yetong said again. Hearing this, even Yakis was a little angry. Their goal of going out to sea is extremely ambitious, and now they are actually blocked by naval scum here. And twice, calling them rubbish. I want to see how strong you are. Yes, so vain. As Yakis said, a spear shot suddenly. Hey, I really want to sweep the floor, why do I have to force me to fight? As Yetong said, he also pulled out the village rain to fight. Boom, boom. Yakis is not only a demon fruit capable person, but also a powerful pistol. Chapter 59, Boran. However, with the ability to write round eyes, you can still see clearly. The speed and strength are all good, you, a Navy Colonel, are really unrealistically strong. Making 4 arms. At this moment, Yakis instantly appeared 2 other hands. Moreover, he held the same spear in his hand. Boom boom. The 4 spears attacked together, and the speed and strength were not reduced. This guy is really... Shave. Yetong retreated in an instant. Then hold his sword hilt. One sword stream 100 birds. Yetong cut out instantly. Even if Yakis had 4 arms, he couldn't resist such high-frequency attacks. Chi-chi-chi. As the scarlet birds fly out, Nightai also stands on the boat. You can restore it yourself, right? I didn't feel it just now, I cut to your heart. Nightai looked at Yakis who was squatting on the ground, and said slowly. Hey, you found out. What a powerful young navy. How about, join me? Etc., etc. Before Yakas finished speaking, Nitai also raised his hand. Can I clean up the hygiene here first? I feel uncomfortable for such a dirty place. Yetong said slowly. Clean up. What you just said. Before Yakas finished speaking, Nitai had already begun to sweep the floor. You can talk about your ambitions and dreams, and I will listen carefully. Yetong said while sweeping the floor. Ha ha ha, interesting. OZW.com. We are all like-minded people, and we will not rob homes. My money is obtained from the murderous pirates and nobles. We never take action against civilians. Yakas also began to describe his dreams. Want to hunt and kill the nobles together, and then step onto the altar step by step. Finally, the dragon is also hunted. And the dragon in their mouth is the celestial dragon. I have to say that this guy is still a man of integrity. As Yakas got more and more excited, Nitai cleared the ship faster. 3 hours later, the 5 pirate ships were also completely cleaned up. At this time, Yakas was still talking about his plan. More than 1,000 pickup points, which is really good. Nitai secretly said. Also gained some domineering and basic attributes. There are also special items that you don't know what to use, such as canned food. Well, I probably know what you think. But, have you ever thought about it because of you? Make those civilians more painful. Yetong said slowly. Make civilians more painful. Impossible, we have never shot against civilians. Yakas retorted directly. You rob the nobles, they will intensify their exploitation in order to continue to maintain that arrogant and lustful life. This is not an influence. You don't kill Boran, but Boran died because of you. Yetong said calmly. After hearing what Nitai said, Yakas was stunned. He has always believed that he represents justice for civilians. But at this time, he found that his heart was shaken. And this waver is only because of a word from the Navy. What he didn't know was that the words Yetong said were the truth witnessed by history. Swear he can refute it. Chapter 60, Be My Little Brother. Yakos, right. Be my little brother, right. Before Yakas came back to his senses, Nitai also said directly. What? What kidding, want me to be your little brother? I'm a pirate, you want me to be your little brother? Yakas, who was still wondering, immediately exploded when he heard these words. Not to mention that he has his own dreams, even his identity makes him feel resistant. In the eyes of Yakas, the Navy is the running dog of the Denon. The justice they uphold is nothing but the interests of the Tianlong people. Well, be my little brother. Yetong dug his ears and said with a calm expression on his face. Hello. You listen to me, I don't want to be your little brother. I have no affection for the Navy at all. Yakas discovered at this time that he had been led into a strange circle. Originally wanted to fight with Yetong, but I don't know why, but now he is actually entangled with Yetong whether to do his little brother's affairs. If you are my little brother, I guarantee that those nobles will be cleaned up by you. Yetong said again. What? You are the Navy, can you say such a thing? Yakas can't turn the corner for a while, what is this guy talking about? Could it be that this guy is a traitor to the Navy? I am the Navy, and I am not going to clean them up. It's you who cleaned them up. Yetong said again. For a while, everyone on the Yakas ship was stunned. And at this time, Tina and the others also leaned over. After hearing Yetong's remarks, they were all stunned. OZW.com encourages the pirates to take action against the nobles. If it is known from above, it is not a fun thing. By the way, I will save your names. But you are all Navy now. Hunting dragons, that's not what you should do now. Yetong said calmly. After all, he is the boss behind the Revolutionary Army. Facing the Tianlongren, it will happen sooner or later. Moreover, the definition of absolute justice within the Navy is also vague. After the O'Hara incident, many navies directly gave up the justice of the Navy, such as Carp, Crane, warring states. These powerhouses saw it through, but they did not choose to resist, but continued to stick to their justice. Could it be that they have no courage? No. It is because, if there is a turmoil, it will be the civilians who will be hit the most. It is precisely because of this that they will not act. Are you really going to accept us? We are pirates. From today, you are no longer a pirate. It's me, Colonel Nitai's deputy. As Yetong said, she also walked to Tina's side and stretched out her hand. Tina knows. Seeing Nitai's movements, Tina quickly entered the warehouse, and then walked out with a navy suit. Promise. Yetong took the navy uniform, walked to Yakas, and handed it out. I want to think about it, after all. I will give you 3 minutes to make it clear to your little brothers. As for the identity issue, don't worry, I will arrange it. Yetong said, putting the clothes in Yakas's hands, and turned back to his boat.